A walk-off home run. 4 seconds left. The Buffs take the lead. Bam launches the three and knocks it home. Well, good evening, football fans, and welcome to First United Field at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. Tonight, we've got an old-fashioned rivalry coming your way. The West Texas A&M Buffalo square off against the Midwestern State Mustangs on senior night for WT. I'm Lucas Kinsey, and my broadcast partner, Bryce Sheets, will be with us shortly. But right now, Corin Davis up here joining me as Bryce is over at the pitch calling a double overtime West Texas A&M against Dallas Baptist soccer match. So we'll see how that turns out. But this is the Marble Depot pregame show. Kent Johnson and this young lady here, Corin Davis, will be down on the sidelines getting reports throughout the game. And we're glad to have you along for the broadcast. West Texas A&M, they currently sit in a three-way tie for fourth place in the Lone Star Conference standings after a strong road win last Saturday at Texas A&M Kingsville. The Buffs used strong defense and timely special teams play to edge the Javelinas 21-14. Now, Midwestern State, on the other hand, they fought till the last seconds, but they came up just short in a 21-16 home loss against Western Oregon last week. The loss was the Mustangs' third straight, and it puts them in a fifth-place spot in the conference. Corin, both of these teams know that they're not still in that playoff picture, so to speak. Right. But there's still a lot left to play for, and we certainly expect this game to be intense for 4 quarters.
Absolutely, I agree. At this point, you know, you're desperate for wins. You're at the very end of your season. You want to make your final record look as good as it possibly can, and it's kind of a rivalry game between these two teams. If you look at it, Coach Renner said, "My seniors, it's on their bucket list to win here specifically at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. They've never done that before, and so they're coming in with a little bit more fire, a little bit more motivation under their belt than even just winning. And so I think we'll see some good stuff from them, but they're also trying to get back healthy. They've had a couple of injuries as well.
Especially at the quarterback spot.
Yes.
All right, now the Buffs win at Kingsville was not one that you would put in the beauty pageant contest category, but Coach Lynn says, hey, it got the job done. And honestly, the way they had to fight through that game, the offense really didn't come alive till late third quarter into the fourth quarter. But it was a tough, confidence-building kind of victory last Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I can feel that they're starting to get in a rhythm now that they have an offense that's going. Their defense isn't having to pick up so much of the slack, and it's a little bit more balanced. And I know that they're eager for a win tonight here to finish out the home season of the 2024 season.
Yeah, they're going to honor, in fact, 35 seniors. Then we'll see that here in just a little bit down on the field. These two proud programs, they have met 36 times, with the Buffaloes winning 21 and the Mustangs 15. Last year, WT shut out Midwestern State 23-0 to make it a fourth straight win in the series. We're going to see if the Buffs can make it 5 in a row, or if new Mustangs head coach Rich Renner can help lead his team to a huge Lone Star Conference takedown. When we come back, we're going to have our seniors being honored down on the field. We'll take a quick timeout. West Texas A&M and Midwestern State collide in a big-time LSC clash on Flow Sports and the West Texas A&M Sports Network. Pre-game show continues, and I just told our viewing audience that Bryce Sheets would be in and would be able to tell us about that double overtime soccer thriller. Unfortunately, I could tell as soon as I saw the body language that the Buffs fell just one goal short, Bryce.
They did. They fell in double overtime, 3-2. So if you're not familiar, they played 10-minute overtime periods. In the second one, Dallas Baptist able to get a nice rebound on a corner kick, and most of these in this particular contest, most of these goals were scored on corner kicks, and they come away with a 3-2 win over WT.
Getting ready for our seniors to be honored down on the field, and we had a chance to visit with two of them earlier this week, and
two of the good ones,
two really good guys with Preston Stazuski, the safety, and JT Cavender, the linebacker. But it was interesting hearing Coach Lynn just talk about the seniors, and in particular, Bryce, it was pretty cool him talking about all these guys that stuck with him. Yeah, no, and that's been the big thing. Again, when you have a coaching change and a new regime, so to speak, and so players got to make decisions too, and they got to decide if I'm going to be a fit in what they want to do, the style they want to play, or do I need to go somewhere else? And he is so proud of the ones that have stayed and have really worked through everything here at WT. And again, the two that you just talked about, but many others have just been so loyal to the program and have given so much, and from our standpoint, from my standpoint, very proud of what they've been able to do over the course of their career. Yeah, we've been able to see them not only on the field but in the community. You talk about it, and for me it was the same way when my son was playing flag football. You go out to those flag football games, and those student athletes, the football players, are out there officiating those games, high-fiving the kids. They're out in the community. They go to the schools on game days and high-five those little kids. So it's really cool to see those guys make a big impact in their lives. And the fun thing is, too, these players that we have got the chance to kind of know a little bit better through the course of their careers here, but also as they go on. Again, talking about what you just said at flag football, I've got grandkids that play, and so Jordan Johnson, a standout here, who's still around in the community, and congratulations to Jordan, just had a new one not too long ago. So good to see him continuing on in his banking career and everything that he does. But again, they make such a big impact and it affects so many different people in so many ways. And so that's why this fan base is so loyal to what the Buffs do. All right, we're going to take it down to the field, and the seniors are going to be honored here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium before we start this game.
Number 0, wide receiver from Lubbock, Texas, Tyree Tipton. Number 3, defensive back from New Orleans, Louisiana, Ty Dillon. Number 5, running back from Fort Worth, Texas, Trajon Henderson. Number 6, wide receiver from Jacksonville, Florida, Zorian Stanton. Number 7, defensive back from Missouri City, Texas, Preston Stazuski. Number 8, linebacker from McCook, Nebraska, Zach Schlager. Number 14, wide receiver from Bentonville, Arkansas, Tucker Swoboda. Number 15, linebacker from Katy, Texas, Samuel Hampton. Number 18, linebacker from Houston, Texas, Ashton Reynolds. Number 20, defensive back from Kearns, Utah, Charles Henderson. Number 21, linebacker from Hobbs, New Mexico, Josh Baird. Number 22, defensive back from Sherman, Texas, Gage Smith. Number 23, defensive back from Mesa, Arizona, Edward McClendon. Number 38, wide receiver from Allen, Texas, John Jennings. Number 39, defensive back from Houston, Texas, Mike Anozie. Number 40, linebacker from Dumas, Cade Cox. Number 42, linebacker from Austin, Texas, Jason Harris. Number 44, linebacker from Midlothian, Texas, J.T. Cavender. Number 46, linebacker from Austin, Texas, Bronco Shachura. Number 53, offensive lineman from Penns Grove, New Jersey, Jeremiah Carter. Number 56, defensive line from Bakersfield, California, Dylan Parcher. Number 59, offensive lineman from San Jose, California, Matthew Ames. Number 70, offensive lineman from Dallas, Texas, Arza Brown. Number 71, offensive lineman from Keller, Texas, Zach Dietrich. Number 79, offensive lineman from the Woodlands, Texas, Brandon Lesh. Number 80, wide receiver from Birmingham, Alabama, Tyshawn Buckner. Number 81, wide receiver from Roswell, New Mexico, Dominic Nava. Number 87, tight end from Katy, Texas, Samuel Treadway. Number 88, tight end from Las Cruces, New Mexico, Jordan Mendoza. Number 91, defensive lineman from San Antonio, Texas, Chima Iwagu. Number 98, defensive line from Sacramento, California, Miles Cannon. And number 99, defensive lineman from Morris, Illinois, Obadiah Ben Israel. Seniors, Buff Nation wishes you the very best in your future endeavors. And remember that wherever life takes you, WT is our home. WT is our family. And WT is our team. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a final round of applause to these outstanding WT student athletes.
And a great job down on the field. You saw the seniors being honored, and one of the cool things is they're taking pictures down there with family members. Is seeing these guys smile, Bryce. A lot of them, like, we never see them with the helmet taken off, and so really cool to see that and the hard work that's been put in. Obviously, they want to cap it off with a win, but you can see how much it means to them and their family.
You know what was so cool too, and I got to see this in soccer this last week too, with senior recognition. You forget that a lot of these families, you know, have to come from miles and miles away. And so, again, it's great to see them come in and support.
All right, we're getting ready to head down onto the sidelines. Kent Johnson is going to be down there with a sideline report for us. And, again, for West Texas A&M and Midwestern State getting set to go here, let's get ready for Kent Johnson down on the sidelines. And, Kent, go ahead and take it away, buddy.
Tonight's game features two teams seemingly going in opposite directions. The Buffaloes come in tonight having won 3 of its last 4 ball games, while Midwestern State has lost 5 of its last 6 games. This will be the 36th meeting between the two schools, with WT holding a 20-15 margin and having won the last 4 outings. Last weekend, Midwestern State was playing LSC second place ball club, Western Oregon, and they had the Wolves on the ropes. Trailing 20-16 in the waning moments of the fourth quarter, Midwestern State had a drive, but ultimately they ended up turning the ball over on downs and lost the ball game, thus bringing a record of 3 wins and 6 losses into tonight's contest. Head coach Rich Renner is in his first year at the helm of the Mustangs program. He's very familiar with Midwestern State, having been on former head coach Bill Maskell's staff as both an assistant and the defensive coordinator for many, many years. Buffalo fans are familiar with Coach Renner as well, at least longtime Buffalo fans, as Coach Renner was on the WT football staff from 2000 to 2005. Offensively, the Mustangs have used 4 players at quarterback this season, with sophomore Andrew Knable and junior Matthew Duncan getting the majority of the reps. Knable's completed 52% of his passes with 4 TDs, while Duncan has completed 52% of his passes with 4 TDs and 3 interceptions. So between them, they've thrown 7 interceptions. Picks have been an issue with the Mustangs offensively. No fewer than 22 Mustangs have carried the ball on the ground. Junior running back Devin Cross has a team-high 475 yards and 2 TDs, while junior Jalen March has a team-high 90 carries for 371 yards. Receiving-wise, it's DeMonte Green being the most prolific. He has 20 catches 381 yards, and 4 TDs, while Justin White Jr. has a team leading 31 grabs this year. On the defensive side, senior safety Larry Donnell has 60 total tackles with 2 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries. As a team, the Mustangs have forced 15 turnovers this season, 9 interceptions, and 6 fumble recoveries. One area that's been a strong point for Midwestern State has been the kicking game. Senior Joseph Carlson has made 14 of 17 field goal attempts with a long of 50 yards. Punting-wise, it's senior Diego Gonzalez. He's placed 12 of his 39 kicks inside the opponent's 20-yard line. It's senior night at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. WT is looking to send out its 33 seniors on a happy note tonight. Our game time temperature, 49 degrees, wind light out of the west-southwest. By the time we get to halftime, it's going to be in the low 40s, so a little nippy, but great football weather. Now, let's go out on the field and join the WT marching band.
All right, thanks so much, Kent. A lot of good stuff, and you know what he's talking about with Midwestern State, Bryce. There's a lot of these little ties, if you will.
Yeah.
Whether it's Rich Renner, who I remember because I'm trying to remember which course it was when I was in college. Coach Renner taught it. You know, that's back when the coaches would still teach. Like Butch Loffer was my bowling instructor, and Coach Renner was I might have been basketball, weightlifting, but he spent time here at WT.
Yes,
he's been at Midwestern State for a long time. Bill Maskell, you know, we talked at the coaches show the other night with Coach Lynn. A lot of respect for Bill Maskell as he was in the Lone Star Conference for so many years and one of the winningest coaches, nearly the winningest coach in conference history. So Midwestern State knows WT, WT knows Midwestern State. But when we kick off here in just 20 minutes or so, all that's going to go out the window, and these two teams want to beat each other.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's the 287 series, has been for years. And, again, I saw that earlier this week when the women played in soccer, and just the intensity, because it is kind of a rivalry game, and for the Buffaloes it always has been a rivalry game. And so, again, this will be, you know, a little extra emotion out here. Both teams, you know, Midwestern kind of really wants to turn their season around as much as they can. The Buffs want to continue the improvement they've made, especially since the halfway point. They've been playing really good football, and so they want to continue that. And the next team in line for them to face is Midwestern.
You're watching the Marble Depot pregame show. Lucas Kinsey alongside Bryce Sheets, Kent Johnson, Corin Davis down on the sidelines. We're so glad to have you with us here tonight for this big game. It's Military Appreciation Night. We want to take time to thank all of our military service members, the men and women who fight for our freedom. And no matter where you are, no matter whether you're current duty, whether you served years ago, Bryce and I are very, very grateful for all of our military.
Oh, absolutely. My dad was in the Army, and so, again, never saw combat, thankfully, but really enjoyed his time in there. Just so appreciative of all that of everything they have in order to, you know, give us our protections that we have here in this country and the sacrifice they make. And so, again, especially on Monday, obviously Veterans Day, but before that and even after, we just want to say a big thank you.
And I think we've been told, can't give the complete secret out, but there's going to be a special entrance for West Texas A&M tonight as well. So make sure that you are watching that. West Texas A&M, Midwestern State, Kent mentioned it, the series 21-15 in favor of the Buffs. Last year, right here, Bryce, it was 23-0 in a shutout. So plenty of motivation for Midwestern State. Coach Renner talked about it with Corin that Midwestern State's never gotten a victory in this stadium. Yeah, since they've been here, this has not been a kind location for them. They had better luck when we played over at the old Kimbrough Stadium, and so they had much better fortunes there. But here it's been tough at Bain Schaefer. For the Buffaloes, last week we talked about it, that they got that win over Kingsville, and it was interesting because the 21-14 final score, and it didn't feel good really until the end. But with what did feel good, and Coach Lynn talked about this with Preston Stazuski and also with JT Cavender, is the defense was outstanding for 4 quarters.
You know, they have gotten better and better and better with each passing game, and I know there's a couple they'd like to go back and play one more time just to give the effort that they're giving right now. And I think what the boys, the guys said basically was it's the communication that has improved so much, especially for the defensive unit. And so, again, keep in mind some of those players, you know, they took a while to get used to each other. And so now that they're familiar with everybody, and so they know what those checks and calls are going to be made. And so that's been a big difference for this defense. And we have seen in a couple of different games how they've really stepped up and really made a big difference.
All right, we'll have our national anthem.
Remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Thank you. Where were they?
I don't know. So I'm looking. I'm trying to see where they're at.
consistency on offense.
Yeah, you need that continual play, continue to move the ball down the field. And so, again, that's been a big key for the Buffaloes. In their wins this season, you've seen that consistency. And when they've struggled is when they just can't seem to get in rhythm offensively.
You know, you look at WT, just 3 touchdowns, 118 rushing yards per game, 3 interceptions, 1 for 5 in the red zone. You got to get better on third downs. And again, the defense, not to say that the offense has been inept, but the defense has kind of kept them in some of the games over the last 3 weeks.
I think that's very true. I mean, again, it's been the good play defensively that has not allowed the opposing teams to kind of get in gear, in balance, to be consistent on offense. And so that's, tip your hat to the defense for the way they played. And you want to see that now for the offense to kind of get in that rhythm and constantly stay in it. And so that's been a big thing.
Number 2, cause mayhem. Mayhem, I like that word. Yes. Defensively, the Buff defense has been really solid over the last several games. 7.5 sacks just in the last 2. They're forcing turnovers. And, Midwestern State, Bryce, they are a little bit inconsistent themselves offensively. Hopefully that's a good match for WT.
Yeah, you hope so. And again, you want to keep, as Coach Lynn talked about on the coaches show this week, keep their quarterback, whoever it may be, you got to get them out of rhythm. You got to, put pressure on them. And so don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them get in a rhythm. And so that's where that mayhem comes from.
You look at Midwestern State over their last 3 games, which have been losses. Now, they've played really good competition, so you got to talk about that. But they're averaging just 14 points a game. They played Angelo State, they played Central Washington, and Western Oregon, and those have been 3 of the best teams in the conference.
Yeah, and that's been the last 3 they've faced, and so it has been tough. We ran through that slew of tough opponents too earlier in the season, and so that's what kept the Buffs from getting in any kind of rhythm. And so, those teams are all good.
All right, our final key to the game, the Street Toyota keys to the game, is a fantastic finale. That's what we're hoping for, Bryce. 35 seniors, guys like J.T. Cavender, Ty Dillon, Tyree Tipton, Josh Beard, Gage Smith, all of them, the list goes on, in their career wearing maroon and white, strong showing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, goes back to how we started this tonight, saying you appreciate the seniors that have stayed here and gone through all the transition that has occurred. And again, these guys are very important in all aspects of what WT does in their football program.
You see the Buffs, and we talked about the entrance. You can see them getting ready to come out, the Herdsman and Thunder 14 coming out there from the tunnel.
They also, for a couple of games, had 15 following. Can't tell right there whether or not 15 is following behind. And so, but yeah, Thunder 14. And again, such a spectacular event when the Buffalo makes an emergence here at Bain Schaefer Stadium.
You're watching the Marble Depot pregame show here in just a little bit. We're going to go down to the sidelines. Corin Davis is going to have an audio report for us. She will be over on the Midwestern State side tonight, and will be giving us some updates throughout the game. The Buffs come into the game with a record of 4 wins, 5 losses, 4-3 in Lone Star Conference play. Midwestern State, they're just 3-6. They started out 3-3, and then again they've lost 3 in a row. They are 2-5 in LSC play, and again they're looking for that first victory here in this stadium.
And when you go to the head-to-head competition, you see WT probably has the edge just because they have played the similar teams, had a little bit better both offensive and defensive performance in those contests.
For head coach Josh Lynn, trying to keep that improvement going as the Buffs will make their way onto the field. Here we come.
As Thunder 14 makes his way out onto the turf here at Bain Schaefer Stadium, and so too do the Buffaloes. That's cool seeing them carry the American flag.
Yeah, those flags coming on it makes you really proud. And again, no matter what side you're cheering for, whether it's West Texas A&M or Midwestern State, you definitely see that, and everybody's cheering for the red, white, and blue.
Absolutely. I mean, really, it's been a great week all the way around, and so for sporting teams and for everything else here on the campus of West Texas A&M.
All right, Corin Davis, if you are ready, we'll go ahead and go down to Corin on the sidelines. Corin, go ahead. If you're ready, we'll go ahead and go down to you for a quick report. All right, we'll try to get her on right now for West Texas A&M and Midwestern State getting closer. All right, we'll go down. Corden, go ahead.
Here we go. Stand by. Go ahead. Go.
MSU Denver is looking to snap their 3-game losing streak tonight, and they would like to do it here in Canyon at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. Earlier this week, Coach Renner said, we are beating ourselves, which the beauty in that is we have all the control. We've got to be able to limit penalties, and it's not lost on him that they are the most penalized team in the Lone Star Conference right now. As for defense, they need to cause turnovers and defend and take away the deep ball tonight. Cannon Gibson, he knows that he can sling it back there, and he's also a dual threat quarterback, so he'll be able to run it too tonight. I caught him before the game, Coach Renner, and he said, we've got to be able to score points as well. We know that there are 3 quarterbacks that have been in the rotation this year. Andrew Knable is the go-to tonight. He's making his 5th start. But all the same, Renner said, look, I have all the confidence in my team that they can get the job done. Guys.
All right, thanks very much, Corin Davis. And again, that really is kind of the key to sum things up as to what Midwestern will need to do in this one tonight. They need the same thing the Buffs need. They need balance and consistency, and that's what WT needs as well.
Bryce, we talked a lot already about senior night. Emotional, but how much of a factor does that make? I mean, can it give the Buffs that much enthusiasm that kind of inject life into them?
Yeah, it really can. And for the seniors, obviously they know this is their last home game. You asked JT Cavender earlier in the week about that, the fact that, you know, he's been a 5-year player, so too, as well as has Stu, and as they have, you know, those are guys that have put everything they had into this one here. And so it is more meaningful coming out here for the last time to Bain Schaefer Stadium. And so, and talking to other athletes that are seniors this year, I've got that sense from a lot of them is the fact that, you know, this is just, it means so much for the fans to come out, for the people to yell and scream, and for the football players here.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's nothing like playing at Bain Schaefer, and just the way, you know, the fans kind of represent everything here in Canyon.
Getting closer to having our coin toss, we'll mention our officials for tonight's game. Your head referee is Jason Hickey. Umpire is Corey James. The head line judge will be Corey Hicks. Field judge is Mr. Larry Bell. Line judge Juan Dominguez. The side judge Zachary Sandlin. The back judge is Tim Griffin, and the center judge Bobby King III. The Buffaloes have the senior captains Trajan Henderson, Tyree Tipton, Ty Dillon, and J.T. Cavender. On the other side for Midwestern State, number 99, Caleb Manning. Number 64, that is Dwayne Brown. Number 48, Dylan Hoffrichter. Yes, that Dylan Hoffrichter that played for West Texas A&M a couple of seasons ago. And also number 5 for Midwestern State. And that's a trick. Oh, there it is, Adam Johnson. He was not on the.
Well, he is. They have a different number for him over there. So, yes.
So senior wide receiver Adam Johnson. We'll go down and see what happens here with the coin toss at midfield.
It looks like WT will defer to the second half.
Okay.
And so Midwestern will get the ball to start this one off here tonight. Buffs will be going to the north end. And again, the weather today, as Kent was talking about, the wind is really more the issue.
Temperature's great.
Temperature's not bad at all, but the wind today coming out of the west-southwest at about 18, gusting to 30. And so that will cause an issue as you look at the American flag down in the south end zone. It is unfurled and blowing in this wind. So, again, it'll be kind of going from the south corner across the field. So, again, the Buffs will be going to the north end, so they'll have it at their back to start this one today.
One thing to look for in this battle is in the special teams play, we're going to see the best kicker in the Lone Star Conference tonight for Midwestern State. Joseph Carlson, a 6'1", 185-pound. See, these guys, they're not cold. Look at that, Bryce. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, they're ready.
But
ready.
Joseph Carlson, the senior out of Frisco, Texas, 14 of 17 field goals made. And as long as 50 yards, the guy is 6 of 7 from 40 to 49 yards.
Has a big leg, and so that comes into play a little bit. And so, again, that's where they're looking for that offensive consistency and hope that they can get good play out of their quarterback, Andrew, as Andrew will kind of take, or that's the anticipated starter for this one tonight.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Knable from Gerald, Texas, he's making his 5th start, but he's gotten injured, so they brought in some other guys in last week. Matthew Duncan was the guy that ended up finishing the game for Midwestern State in a close loss. But, Bryce, I mean, if you're going to have injuries, somewhere, that's not the spot you want to have injuries.
Not at all. I mean, because that's what makes your team move. And so that's what makes a big difference in this one tonight. Again, consistency is the word both teams are looking for. And so Midwestern will get a good look to see how this one will start out for them here tonight.
We're underway here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium, and Adam Johnson throws up the hand. And the fair catch signal made, so they'll bring that football out to the 25-yard line, and that is where the Mustangs will have their first offensive possession. The offense for Midwestern State, 21 points a game, 305 total yards per game, and interceptions have been an issue, as this year 14 times they've thrown it to the other team. The offensive coordinator, Billy Reebok, a familiar name because he spent 3 years at Texas A&M Commerce.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say he was also heir to the Reebok shoe franchise or something.
Or that his first graduate assistant job was at Ball State.
That's right. That's a big one right there.
All right, on first down, the play broken up. They try a quick pass to the tight end, and the Buffs were ready for that one. Ty Dillon was all over that play like he was in the huddle. Here's the starting lineups for the Mustang offense. They do have some very fast receivers, Adam Johnson being one of those, 20 catches for 281 and a touchdown. And then also watch out for DeMonte Green, the sophomore from Allen.
Again, good up front offensive line that does tend to give Knable time. It's just he's got to make good reads.
It's an undersized offensive line.
Yes,
but
it's smaller than the norm.
We saw that earlier in the season. Western Colorado was not very big, and they were really good. This is a handoff to Jalen March, the running back, and he's going to gain about 5 yards. So it sets up a manageable third down play here for Midwestern State. March, 190-pound junior from Fort Worth, and he comes into this game averaging just under 4 yards per carry. We'll see 3 different running backs tonight for Midwestern State. Quickly a third down. See if the Buff defense can get off the field here. Knable out of the gun. Looking left, throwing left, receiver down there, and what a catch.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, he pulls that one in.
DeMonte Green, first down Mustangs.
You couldn't throw that any better. That was on a go route, basically on the far sideline. He took off and went. The Buffs rotated the safety over to come in and put pressure on him, but that was just a perfect pass. It was just dropped right in his lap, easy to catch as he goes to the turf and picks up the first down.
So that speed on display very early.
Yeah, no kidding. Very good. It got down the sideline quickly.
1st and 10 Mustangs. Just started first quarter at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. And this will be a running play to the right side. Nothing going there. David Dominicus, the linebacker, kind of stops that one along with Soso Sakimi, the defensive end for West Texas A&M. Short gain, they give him 2 yards.
Yeah, that was a favorable spot because he really only looked like he got 1. And so, again, he gets to carry it for 2 on that play. Sets up that 2nd down and 8.
That Buffs defensive line we saw in the seniors before being honored, Antonio Iwuagwu, the nose tackle, Hayden Jansky and Soso Sakimi, the defensive ends, and obviously very talented linebacking core. This is a play-action pass on 2nd down. Adam Johnson will make the catch and then shake and bake, and he has enough, I believe, for a Mustang first down. The passing game looking good early on here for Andrew Knable.
Yeah, it really does. And, again, that goes back to that speed because he quickly got out to the near side. Once he caught the ball, then it was a step, plant, and then cut back to the inside. That's what allowed him to pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 Mustangs getting closer to the red zone, opening possession of the game here. And Knable will hand it off. And again, not much running room, a gain of 1 yard for Jalen March. And that time it was the linebacker, senior Josh Beard, that came up and made the tackle.
You know, Josh has continued to improve too. And again, when you say that he's a senior, what do you mean when you say improve? Well, it's just getting familiar with the system. That's more, and the players around him. And so, again, knowing how to read where people are going to go. And, JT talked about that the other day as he said Preston and he have played so much together, they kind of know just with a look where they're going to be. And so that's where the new players have kind of got to that point now.
4 wide receivers on the field here on 2nd down and long and a new running back. Quick throw to the outside, but pressure in the face. The Buffs did a great job as Charlie Leota beat his man right up the middle and put pressure on Knievel. He had to throw it before he wanted to.
Yeah, and as he threw it, I think he was just trying as best he could to get it to the sideline, and he was able to get it over there. And so, again, good pressure put on by that defensive line for the Buffs.
Last time the Mustangs had a 3rd and long, they converted. Here's another opportunity from the WT 31-yard line, 3rd and 9. Watch out for that single receiver on the far side of the field, Adam Johnson. Now they'll send Justin White in motion. Buffs bring pressure, the ball's loose. Ashton Reynolds knocked the ball loose, but Midwestern State, did they recover it? Yes.
I think they did. I think Knievel fell on it, but it got leveled by Reynolds as he comes from the blind side and just plants his number on the quarterback's number and knocked that ball free.
Is this what you call a speed rush,
Oh,
Bryce?
this is an awesome rush, to say the least. Just watch as he beats the defender, trying to get to the, he just a nice move, boom. He's there and boom, just so quick.
Yeah, left tackle never had a chance.
No, he was able to get around Clayton Goodwin, as fast as he could just to get around him and force this punt.
So Diego Gonzalez will come out, the senior punter. He is going to angle this one. Took his time, but trying to pin it before it heads into the end zone. He cannot do so, and so they'll bring it out. Buffs, that's a really good defensive stop there.
No, that was a great stop. And, again, just that plant there on that very last play on that 3rd down. Again, credit the nice pressure applied by Ashton Reynolds on the quarterback. That's why they call it the blind side. That's why you want your left tackle to be able to take care of that, and he was able to get around the block and plant the quarterback.
Let's look at the offensive starting lineup for West Texas A&M. First look for WT to get on the field, and it's Cannon Gibson, the sophomore quarterback from Wink, Texas, that will lead the team on the field. And the running back, Trajan Henderson, 592 yards on the season, 3 rushing touchdowns. This offense, 22 points a game, 371 total, with 175 rushing, 196 passing. This is the quarterback going backwards here, so that's not a good start there for Cannon Gibson. He's going to lose almost 4 yards.
Well, Josh Lynn talked about they need to get the running game going, and they wanted to get Trajan going, so that time it was an RPO. He faked the handoff, and that time Cannon kept it. But the pressure came from the near side for Midwestern, and so there were 3 guys there ready to tackle the quarterback once he took off.
This Midwestern State defensive coordinator Blake Frazier. This is a play-action pass. Oh, the receiver was open. Stanton was open, and Cannon Gibson's pass was too hot and too high. You just saw a lot of green there on the other side. As we look at the Mustang defensive starting lineup. They run a 4-3 defensive alignment, and the player to watch out for, Bryce, is number 31, Larry Donnell. He has this year, he leads the NCAA with 3 fumble recoveries. One of those fumble recoveries, he went back to the house for a 66-yard touchdown. Oh. He also had against Sul Ross State a 98-yard interception return for a touchdown. So he's the safety back there for Midwestern State in the middle of the field. It's already 3rd down and 13. This has not been a good start here for the Buffs on their first possession. Gibson, good protection. Now looking down the field, he's going to run this ball and get across the 20-yard line. Nobody was open. It's an interesting start because you feel like after that first play, offensive line was doing some good things, but you had a high pass where a receiver was open, busted play there, no one open down the field, and that's what, going back to our keys to the game, the first one was consistency on offense.
Well, the thing on that too, Cannon, I think playing a little bit, I don't want to say nervous, I just think a little extra adrenaline. He wants to get off to a good start here tonight as well, and so, again, just that pass was high over the mark.
Back to receive the punt, it's going to be number 12, DeMonte Green, but he'll let this roll, and it's maybe it's a great bounce for WT. It's going to end up being touchdown at the 21-yard line. So James Ingham,
what a weapon!
Was he the hero last week for the Kingsville game, Bryce? The Buffs have not scored a point And then here comes James Ingham with a punt, ends up touching a Kingsville player. Buffs recover it in the end zone for a touchdown, and then the rest was history. We're going to step aside, take our first time out here. It is scoreless so far, 9:37 to play first quarter. West Texas A&M and Midwestern State here on Flow Sports and the West Texas A&M Sports Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Well, 58-yard punt from James Ingham. And again, he has been a very, very solid weapon for WT this year.
And interesting, Bryce, down on the field before the game, went down there and talked to the coaches and a few of the players. James was down there. He had a different look. He was very intense. I said, James, good luck. He said, I really want to win this game. It's his
personal.
Well, it's his old team.
Right, it's personal.
But in basketball.
Right. It's his old team, but in basketball. But the other thing we found out when you talked to him a few weeks ago, he actually tried out for the football team and was going to be, because they needed a punter.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, and that's what they got was thanks but no thanks. And so this is personal for him, and he wants to do the best he possibly can against his old team that, yes, he played basketball for.
Is there anything spicier in a rivalry than when the punter is fired up? Let's do this, man. It is 1st and 10 Midwestern State from the Mustang 26-yard line. 3 running backs back there with Knievel. They hand it off in some hard hitting from the Buffs linebackers. It's only a gain of 1 for Jalen March as he is just sandwiched. You hear the public address announcer say a herd of buffaloes make the tackle.
That's true. I mean, that front 3 and 2 linebackers converged on the spot. That was a different formation, like a inverted wishbone, so to speak. And so, again, Buffs were able to read it.
Zach Schlager and Josh Beard, 2 of those linebackers. Running back is still March. They're just going to toss it out to him and see what the running back can do here. Tries to squirt through traffic and instead runs into number 45, Sosa Sakimi, who is, is a defensive end, and he's listed at 260 pounds, but he is really quick on his feet.
He really is. And, that's one of the cool things you find out about these big guys that play football on the defensive, offensive line. They're very good athletes, and they have quick feet. That's the one thing that, coaches talk about. They have very quick feet, and so they can get out quickly, and so that was just an example.
3 receivers are going to come out to the near side there at the bottom of your screen on 3rd down and 6. Knievel looks to throw, pressure in his face again, and just has to throw it out of bounds. And again, it was the Buffs defensive front there that are able to come through. And was that Braylon Sugg on the outside? It was.
Yeah, Braylon's really, last few games, he was nursing an injury earlier this season, and so it's good to see that senior also get out there and get in the mix.
Back to receive for West Texas, Tucker.
So far, so good for this Buffalo defense. See if Tucker Swoboda can get a good punt return. If he can get his hands on it, he's going to come over and field this ball from the 22-yard line. Makes a couple defenders miss, and then stepped out of bounds around the 40-yard line.
Be interesting to see where they mark it because he stepped out back at about the 37.
Okay.
I'm just curious where they're going to mark it.
Returned by Tucker Swoboda to the
I like my spot better, Bryce. In fact, let's put it up a couple more yards
to the... They put it at the 45. He actually stepped out at the 37.
That's the senior night discount right there. And we're not talking about the above 65 crew.
But again, it's hard for the officials to see, too. They're running up, and they're trying to watch the play in front of them as well. So good spot for the Buffaloes.
So 1st and 10, West Texas A&M. No score, 8:01 to play. And it's a quarterback option play to the left, pitch to Trajan Henderson.
On the short side, that's the problem with that pitch is you're going on the short side of the field. In other words, the ball is on the near hash. So you rotate out to the short side or the near side. There's not a lot of room to operate, and so that's why that really was barely a 2-yard gain.
Good pursuit there from the Midwestern State defense. 2nd down and 8 now for WT. Play action. Gibson throws on the run, and he was trying to go to his tight end who was being held. The ball was overthrown, so I don't know if the tight end Ray was going to be able to haul it in, but the defender had his jersey.
No, he did. He grabbed him, and that's where you heard the fans groan a little bit, but at the same time, that was uncatchable because really, for the most part, Cannon was throwing that one away, just threw it in the direction of a receiver.
Just waiting for that play, Bryce, to kind of spring this offense into motion. There's just no rhythm early on.
Yeah.
And credit Midwestern State defensively for getting the Buffs off schedule, as the coaches would say. Good protection. Gibson going to step up and run across midfield, hit hard at the end of the run. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down marker.
So first big decision here in this first half is you're in Buffalo territory. Do you decide to go for it here on 4th and 1? And they do.
They do. Midwestern State trying to get substitutions on the field. The Buffs now will pause. This is a huge call here. 4th and 1 yard from just on the other side of the 50. Gibson runs to the right. He's not going to get it. He's taken down. That's a huge play coming up from the rover spot was Jalen Thompson, the 190-pound junior from Rochester, New York. That play never developed, and it's Midwestern State's ball.
And Trajan Henderson is very upset because he was the pitch man, and he felt like he had the angle to get the first down, and he wanted the pitch to come to him. He's talking to his quarterback as they come to the near sideline.
And I can't tell for sure, not on that play, but the previous one, on some of these pass plays, it looks like Cannon is taking off maybe a little early.
Yeah, a little anxious. Yeah,
to
quick feet. Not setting the feet and kind of in a hurry to get going.
All right, Midwestern State, they've got the ball again. This will be their 3rd time to touch the ball here on offense. Pitch to the left, new running back in. That's number 28, Ologi, and
credit Ologi. He got away from JT Cavender. JT shot the gap on that one.
Ologi, excuse me.
And he had him wrapped up, and he was able to step out of the tackle. There's a senior linebacker that's upset right now that he didn't complete that takedown.
So Christian Ologi, he's a big, big running back. He's 6'2", 235 pounds out of Baytown, Texas. This season, 3 touchdowns. And so he's the running back in right now, and a strong carry for 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 ball just on the other side of the 50 for Midwestern State. So we near the 6-minute mark here in the first quarter. Fake to Ologi, and the quarterback keeps it. Knievel shows he's got some wheels, and I think he's got a Mustang first down again.
It's interesting. Buffs are staying with a 1 high safety, and so, again, they're trying to walk players up a little bit. And so that's what Knievel saw on that particular play, that to the near side of the field, to the home side, basically, there was an open lane. That's why he was able to go that way and pick up the first down.
So early on, even though there's no points for either side, Midwestern State's offense is moving the football. Nobody's been in the red zone yet. And on first down here, throw to the outside. Adam Johnson trying to go get that ball, and as fast as he was, it was overthrown from his quarterback, Knievel. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, he just let him too much because really he had his press man, which was Shaw, beat on that play. Preston Stazuski rolled over from the deep safety, but he still had them both beat. Had that ball been on target, that would have been a quick 6 points for Midwestern. Brings up 2nd down.
Buffs walk extra defenders up on the line. They're thinking run here. It's going to be a pass as the quarterback Knievel looking. No one's open. He's slung down, and that's a big play there for Slager, who comes up, and that's the hammer, right? The drop the axe there.
Well, a nice read by Schlegel, too, but from the standpoint, he saw the angle where the quarterback was going. So he beat a blocker, got to the angle, and then as he tried to step back to the inside, Josh able just to wrap him up and take him down.
Good coverage in the secondary.
Yeah, that's the other thing of that, too. You're absolutely right.
Knievel was looking. He wanted to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And I guess out of the tackle box, coaches are going to say you got to just throw that one out of bounds and avoid the loss. So it's 3rd down and 13 now for Midwestern State. Buffs extra defensive back on the field. David Jeffrey, the safety, in the middle. It's a screen pass. No one's there, and the ball is thrown out of bounds to nobody. That should be in.
That was a late blitz by Preston Stazuski as he was trying to push off one of his fellow defenders.
There's a flag at the 46-yard line. Initially, Bryce, that to me it looked like the 44-yard line. Excuse me. That looked like an intentional grounding because he's in the middle of the field. The ball is thrown in nobody's direction.
No, there's nobody over there. All the receivers are on the near side.
Let's see.
There's no foul for OPI. The ball is being legally grounded. 4th down.
Well, I'm not sure how that was legally grounded, but that's the official's call. And Josh Lynn's asking for the explanation, too, here as well, because you're right. He just went straight back, and he just threw it to where nobody was. Now, if he got the ball, which he probably did, beyond the yard marker, so that's why they said there was no foul for offensive for grounding the ball, I should
All right,
say.
the punter back on the field, 3rd time here. Buffs came close to blocking that one. Goes over Swoboda's head, and that's a great bounce. Midwestern State's going to down this ball inside the 10-yard line. We talked about the punter, James Ingham, being fired up. So far, it's a punter's duel, unfortunately.
Yeah, not a lot of points as of yet. No score, 6:52 left to play here, or 4:16 left to play here in this first half.
There's another flag.
First quarter.
There's another flag down here, Bryce, down there by the WT sideline. Let's hear from
I wonder if that's going to be a sideline warning.
referee Jason Hickey.
During the kick, holding, number 16, receiving team.
Oy.
Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So instead of the 6-yard line, they're going to put it at the 3-yard line.
And a media timeout.
Okay, that'll take us to our timeout here. 4 minutes, 16 seconds left, first quarter. Still no score. When we come back, Buffs have the football, but they're deep in their own territory. You're watching West Texas A&M football here on Flow Sports.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. 4:16 left to play in the first quarter. No score, as both teams have had trouble getting their offense to really move the football, as the Buffaloes have 10 total yards in the first quarter, 50 for Midwestern State, but the Buffs have yet to get on track offensively in this one today. And so Buffs will make their way out there offensively. They are deep in their own territory at the 3.5-yard line. And so we are set to head down to the field as Corin Davis is going to update us on what's happening. Corin, what's going on with their offense?
Oh, that Andrew Knievel he initially starting the season wasn't the starting quarterback here, so he's getting put into a role where he's having to learn, he's having to grow. Obviously, one of their goals going into tonight was being able to start strong offensively, and that hasn't seemed to be the case. The last couple of drives, Knable has come off of the field onto the sideline, and offensive coordinator Billy Reebok has shown a little bit of frustration, but they every single time go over to the bench and they talk through things. There is a little bit of frustration all around on the offensive side of things, so hopefully they can work through those going into this next drive and put some points on the board, guys.
Thanks a lot, Corin. First play, incomplete pass. Second play, there's Trajan Henderson, and a nice run play up near the 10-yard line before he's taken down by number 33 on the play there for Midwestern State.
Trajan would love to really get off to an explosive game, and I feel like he feels like he has that in him. That's why he's wanting the ball, and so good example in that one. That was a 6-yard gain on that carry.
That was Quincy Montgomery, the defensive end, on the stop for Midwestern State. Buffs third down. They need to pick this one up as they're deep in their own territory right now. Gibson, throw. There's the play that was open earlier, and it's Zorian Stanton first down, Buffaloes.
Yeah, nice connection right there. Zorian, one-on-one coverage, and so he steps up and then steps toward the middle of the field. Getting exactly right. That was the play that was open earlier. That time they made the connection.
And maybe that gets Cannon Gibson going, and that confidence that we saw from him during those 2 wins over Western New Mexico and Eastern New Mexico. Quick throw to the outside. Oh, that's one Stanton usually comes up with, and you see him, he's going.
Yeah, he's upset with himself because that just bounces off the shoulder pads. And again, you're one of those where you're getting your hands up to catch it, but you're also turning to see where you want to run with the football.
Yeah.
And, coaches will tell you, complete the catch first, then go.
Watch it all the way into the hands.
Yep.
Well, they'll come back to that one. Stanton has been so good this year for West Texas A&M. 36 catches now on the season, 5 touchdowns. He's got the ability to be a game breaker and score at any time. This is Tyree Tipton, speaking of game breaker, and he takes the jet sweep, gets across the 30-yard line, following good blocking by WT. And on the stop, Larry Donald, the talented safety. I like these names that Midwestern State has for their defense, Bryce. The Rover, the Whip.
Yeah.
Looking for the nay-nay. I don't see it. Here's a handoff over the left. Penalty marker flies as soon as the Buffs snap the ball. 2 flags fly. 3 flags fly.
All kinds of flags flying.
Yeah.
So let's see what this one is. Yeah, there are all kinds. The back judge or the side judges are the ones that threw them, though. And they're looking like they're going to.
Substitution, defense. 5-yard penalty. They're down.
Midwestern State had an illegal substitution. And that was one thing we heard Corin talk about earlier was they have struggled with penalties this year.
First down.
So it gives the Buffs an automatic first down on that penalty. And again, the play was blown up by Midwestern, but when you have that extra guy that hasn't got off or an extra guy out there, depending on what it is, that's where that you snap it quickly and get it to your quarterback.
So first down, Buffaloes. Henderson explodes up the middle, and it's a nice 5-yard gain over the right side.
Is a really good initial first step, and so gets out of the blocks quickly and just takes off. And so I think he's so anxious. He really wants some big carries on this one tonight.
Yeah, over at Eastern New Mexico in the Buffs wagon wheel victory, 173 and 2 touchdowns. It was a huge performance for Trajan. He gets the carry this time, and Midwestern State says enough of that, as coming up quickly to make the tackle was number 15.
Yeah, again, that was a
Isaiah
nice stop by Isaiah because Trajan really, he was trying to be patient and wait for a hole to open, but nothing opened up, and really Midwestern just kind of gummed everything up.
So now make it 3rd down and 7. And again, Midwestern State struggling.
Getting personnel in.
Yes. Buffs have the receiver stacked in tight. Watch Brendan Ray. He's the tight end at the bottom of your screen. Gibson pressured. Now he has to run for his life, and he's got the speed to get a first down and then some. Cannon Gibson at the 30, stays on his feet, and then slides down short of the 20-yard line. How about that?
Nice run, and again, nice block that opened up a running lane for him. Again, they came on a late blitz on the weak side, the far side of the field, and so a linebacker came up and forced him out of the pocket. Thankfully, he just took off and kept going.
That time, that was a play where you definitely wanted your quarterback to go.
Yes.
1st and 10 Buffs. Henderson running left, breaks a tackle. Henderson has got a big gain. Close. Does he have enough to move the sticks? I think he does.
Yeah, it looks like he's right there. They haven't yet. Now they
give him that first down.
There they go.
All right.
Now they're saying first down.
Gain of 11 yards. Buffs work quickly. 1st and 10 from the 12. Henderson squeezes through traffic and gains just
3 more, I think, on that one.
Okay, 3 yards.
Nice drive for the Buffaloes right now inside the red zone, obviously, at the 10-yard line. And so timeout is going to come at the end of the quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Through 1 quarter of play, told you there was going to be hard hitting, and so far it's been a defensive game. Scoreless as we head to the second quarter. West Texas A&M and Midwestern State here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, they just had the Street Toyota Kick for a Camry competition, and it was a good effort there from that young lady that we're just seeing, and she's not going home with the Toyota Camry, which is a great car.
Well, that's true.
By the way, but pretty cool competition. It's Military Appreciation Night as well, and Bryce, in the second quarter, both of these teams are hoping that the offense can start opening up because it's been defense. Midwestern State has moved the ball maybe a little better in the first quarter, but the Buffs, they got something going here, knocking on the door.
Yeah, on this drive, again, heading into this drive, they barely had 10 yards. Now they've got 91 yards so far in this first quarter of play.
This is one where for WT, though, Coach Lynn wants to see 6 points. He does not want to have to bring the field goal team on. They've had some struggles this year. Gibson looks to throw, spins out of trouble. Now he's going to reverse field, picks up a block. There's going to be penalties, though, as flags fly. Gibson still running and then takes a hit at the end of that one. He was just doing so much
it's hard
improvising there that.
Yeah, it's hard not to get a holding penalty when that occurs, and so that's what's going to be the case. And so, and you got to keep that in mind when you're the quarterback too, and you're running around that you've got to be able to get rid of it quickly so that doesn't occur.
There's a look at head coach Rich Renner down on the sideline.
Oh, no. Onside block, number 63 offense. 15-yard penalty from previous spot. Second down.
And that's one there's been more of an emphasis on this year, and it's not it can be a violent contact, but at the same time, usually on those blindside blocks, they're just looking for somebody that hits on the side, and that's usually what happens.
Well, and Gibson, think about it, he reversed field twice. And so the defender's coming across, and you just kind of step in the way and pop someone pretty good, even though if you hit them in the numbers.
Right.
That is a play that, again, in the old days, you got pat on the backside. Good job.
Right.
Good job, buddy.
Good block. Absolutely.
And now, look at this. It takes the ball back to the 26-yard line. Second down and 23 now for West Texas A&M. Trajan Henderson, good hole, and he is spun down across the 20-yard line to the 18. 8-yard pickup there for Henderson.
Nice hard run by Trajan, that off the left side of the line that time. And so, again, able to get some of that penalty yardage back.
If they don't get it here, Bryce, it is field goal territory. But, again, Preston Gregg this year has struggled a little bit on his field goals, and so has Kaysen Polivoda, who missed a field goal last week in that win at Texas A&M Kingsville. The wind blowing a little bit from right to left down there on the field.
That's the problem, too, is the wind. And so, again, you've really got to be dialed in.
3rd down and long. Gibson takes his drop. Good protection. He'll throw it to the running back Henderson, and he's going to be taken down. That's a great play by Midwestern State. Give credit to number 44, Deshaun Littleton, who makes an immediate stop. And here's your answer. The Buffs bring the field goal team on.
All right, well, we'll see if we can get some points out of this one after a nice drive by the Buffaloes on the near hash. So, again, having it on the near hash, you're expecting the wind to push it from the right to the left. So that's kind of how you want to approach it as you get set to put your foot into this one.
Going to be a 35-yard try. Snap was high. This one could be difficult to make, and it hits the left post, and it is no good. Good attempt from Polivoda and from James Ingham, the holder, because the snap was high. Could have been worse. Could have been a blocked field goal for Midwestern State, but the field goal was missed. No points remain on the board for either team, and Midwestern State will get that offense back on the field.
Well, and again, you're right. It was a great try, and you're having to compensate for this breeze, this wind. And again, it pushes.
We may not see another field goal try the rest of the game from WT.
Just because of the way the wind is. That's the problem.
So Midwestern State takes over early second quarter. Back on the field. Quick throw to the outside. The tight end makes the catch. Ty Dillon, again, all over that one as the completion goes to Jalen Robertson for no gain.
Yeah, Ty Dillon was there when the ball got there, and so he just wrapped him up, pushed him back, and got some help, and so no gain whatsoever. Again, it wasn't disguised very well. It was thrown right to where the quarterback was looking, and Ty Dillon saw that all the way.
We've enjoyed watching Ty for the last 4 years.
Yes.
He's out of Round Rock, and I tell you what, Bryce, 5'9", 180-pounder. He's one of the most aggressive, smaller defensive backs that we've seen.
Yeah, he definitely – he'll go after it. That's the fun thing about watching him play.
2nd down and 10. They roll the quarterback Knievel out to the right. Good protection. No one's open, and he has to throw it away again. Just great coverage by the Buffaloes secondary. It's going to set up 3rd down and 10 for Midwestern State, and he's just out there. Someone get open, get open.
He's looking for it. And that was interesting watching Ty Dillon on this side because he fell off his pressure to see the quarterback roll to the far side of the field, so he was waiting to see any of the receivers on this side were going to cut across and help him out, and they didn't. They just stayed on this side of the field. So, again, not a lot of help from the quarterback.
Fans make noise again here on 3rd down and long. Knievel with the new running back, Alaji, back on the field.
Buffs walk up all the linebackers.
Midwestern State said, we don't like this. We're going to talk things over, so a timeout will be taken. We'll take one as well. West Texas A&M and Midwestern State scoreless, 12-14 to play here in the second quarter. We're back with more football and Flow Sports right after this.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as timeout taken by Midwestern State. They saw something they didn't like defensively the Buffs were going to do. WT walked their linebackers up, so they're rushing 6.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that so far in this first half, is offense not liking what the defense is doing. And so no score. Buffalo's attempted the 35-yard field goal and missed on that one. You're going to try to get these fans up. They're cold, so what do? You play the chicken song?
Get them up and down. You see all the fans with hoodies on and, ski toboggans and things like that. So cool. Night first really fall weather we've had this football season.
Our athletics director Doug Lipinski probably thinks, this isn't that cold.
Well, no,
right? Coming from Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's the 3rd down and 10 play for Andrew Knievel and Midwestern State. Throw to the inside. Oh, Ty Dillon got a hand on it. Miscommunication between the receiver, Adam Johnson, and his quarterback. Mustangs have to punt.
So the Buffs walked up the linebackers again, 2 of the 3 linebackers, and then they both backed off when they snapped the ball and ran into the pass pattern. And so, again, he had to be with a fine-tuned comb trying to get that one through, and that's why Ty Dillon almost came away with the interception.
Well, this is Diego Gonzalez, his 4th punt here in the game. He's going to angle it to the far side. It's a good one. Keeps it away from Swoboda, and it goes out of bounds around the 25-yard line. So good job. And the way this game is going tonight, Bryce, special teams may be the biggest of the 3 that makes a difference.
And you need all 3 phases, and so special teams could, in fact, play such a huge part in this one tonight. You'd like to see now that the Buffs have 99 total yards through the first quarter here into the second quarter, you'd like to see them now get in rhythm, settle down and just kind of get back to what they were doing for the last few ball games. And so, again, you'd like them to, as one of your keys of the game, be consistent on what they're doing offensively.
Well, because defensively they are shutting the door. 50 total yards is all Midwestern State has.
Yeah. They've done a great job defensively.
First down play, it's going to be a handoff to Jamal Joseph, and he bruises his way across to the 30-yard line.
Jamal, another one of those that has come on of late, too, for the Buffaloes, able to take that one up and just kind of pound it through the middle.
Tackle made by number 48, Dylan Hofrichter, the 230-pound senior from China Spring, and again was a member of WT a couple of seasons ago.
No, Jamal came from Kearney, but he's originally from Miami, so this has got to be cool, I would think.
Cannon Gibson will hand it to Joseph again, and he's going to gain a couple of yards. He's tripped up. Good pursuit that time. Dylan Hofrichter going to be credited for the tackle, but that defensive front, Quincy Montgomery, Charles McKnight, they're starting to get some pressure in there. Also number 94, Corbin Johnson. 3rd down and 3 here for West Texas A&M. They've went run. What will they do here? They almost got the defensive end to jump, but Jordan Crawford was able to get back. They go with Joseph again, and Joseph breaks it outside. He's got a first down as the big man doing some good work on this drive. Josh Lynn talked about him, Bryce, earlier in the week and said, last week we relied on him. He was kind of the hot hand at Kingsville.
Well, one of the things he talked about, too, was that he probably wasn't in the best shape at the beginning of the season, but he's worked into that now, and you can see he's got good speed when he takes off.
Joseph again gets the carry, and this Buff offensive line starting to mash as Midwestern State makes a lot of substitutions coming off the bottom after that play there. It was number 55 offensively, Tayshawn Pennington, the 275-pound sophomore. Bryce,
he had a pancake.
He drove his player about 8 yards down the field.
And had a pancake block on top of it, so yeah. Then helped him up, courtesy.
Great sportsmanship from Tayshawn Pennington. Buffs working a couple of offensive linemen in. Zach Dietrich is in right now at the right guard spot. Gibson will throw, and it's a great catch on the far side of the field for the Buffaloes.
That was a one-handed catch.
It was Tyshawn Buckner, number 80, that comes in for WT and makes an outstanding grab.
Got close to the first down. Be just about a half yard to pick up the first.
Third down. Barely a yard here. Joseph over the left side carries 2 defenders with him, and he's right close to the marker. Does he have it? Buffs are pointing that he does.
Based on the official spot, it looks like he does, and so they should move the chains, and they do. Nice run by Joseph as he powers his way up to the 38.
Well, this is a really good drive because we're starting to see this offensive line settle in, and we're starting to see the Buffs be able to run the football. That's a great sign. Joseph, good cut, but he's going to just get back to the line of scrimmage. That's great pursuit. The defensive end, Cameron DeVault, 245-pound junior from Friendswood, crashes in and makes a great tackle.
You know, the Buffs got an extra offensive lineman now he's coming out that they had on that line that time. And so they were lining up 6 offensive linemen and a tight end to open up a running lane for Joseph to run through.
They gave him a yard, friendly yard there for second down and 9. Joseph being grabbed from behind, and just a couple. So this is going to set up most likely a passing situation, third down and long. Caleb Manning makes the tackle for the Mustangs. If you're just joining us, no score, 8 minutes to play, second quarter. Both teams just waiting for that breakout play and hopefully to get points on the board. Five defensive backs on the field right now for Midwestern State. Zorian Stanton, the receiver, on the far side of the field. Gibson fakes the pass, runs, breaks a couple of tackles, but then he can't escape. The last play there, the cornerback Prentice Powell comes up, makes a good tackle, stops the quarterback about 4 or 5 yards short of the first down. Did the Buffs go for it here, Bryce?
That's the next question. Again, I think so. They're going to leave the offense out. Really, you're kind of in that no man's land. If you punt it, you're not getting it very far. I mean, you'll get it a little ways, but again, you might as well go for it on fourth down. Your defense has been playing great.
Buffs hurry to the line. Now they slow it up. It's officially 4th down and 4 from the Mustangs' 32-yard line. Gibson throws, catch made, Brennan Ray, first down, Buffaloes, down to the 25-yard line. It's a great route by number 41, pitch and catch from his quarterback, Gibson.
That's your safety valve. Again, you got Brennan Ray, that tight end, that good hands. And so all you got to do is wait. They kind of overloaded the near side of the field at Midwestern, and so that opened up that passing lane on the far side. Brennan Ray shows his number and pulls it in and gets the first down.
Well, that's spirit right there. You got the USA flag painted on your
and you're not
chest.
wearing a jacket.
Yep. That guy's from Michigan or Indiana,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
All right, here's a handoff to Joseph over the right side. Squirts through. What a great run by number 32, Joseph. Close to another first down.
That brings up second and short for the Buffaloes.
So this will be the second time that WT has been in the red zone. The last time they were in the red zone, they had a big penalty, a 15-yarder on an illegal block that pushed them back, forced them to try a field goal, which they missed from 35 yards. This time they need points. Joseph, huge hole. Jamal Joseph gets down to the 11-yard line, 1st and 10, Buffaloes.
A nice power run off the right side of the line. Guy coming off the field right now, number 69, Andres Barraza, opened up a big lane for him to run through.
Does it look like 32's running with his hair on fire right now?
Something. I mean, he is just powerful, and he's quick. I mean, he just seems so much quicker than he was earlier this season.
This time Gibson will throw to the outside.
Man.
That's an outstanding play by the defensive back, Jaden Plater, redshirt freshman from Dallas. That's exactly how the secondary coach teaches it.
Yes, he dives at the ball, does not make contact, reaches out with his right hand to knock it away, and just exactly. If he got burnt on that one, if the ball wasn't knocked down by him, then it was going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
But again, just played it perfectly. That was a great defensive stop.
2nd down, 10 play. Receivers are stacked in tight again, and the Buffs are going to throw. Across the middle, Joseph makes the catch, spins off of one tackler and gets close. Looks like he's down at the 6-yard line, so that'll be a 5-yard pickup. And now it is 3rd down and 5. Remember, they can still pick up a 1st down at the 1-yard line. It's interesting, 2 straight pass plays. When they had the run game going.
Exactly, yeah. No, again, they're mixing it up a little bit, but you're curious as to why they're mixing up.
Us broadcasters are always
yes,
curious.
Yes. Now you got the extra defensive lineman in there. Offensive lineman in there again.
Joseph will run it this time, and Joseph will be stacked up.
And what's interesting on that play is they overloaded the near side of the field with that extra offensive lineman, and they didn't run that way. They ran to the weak side, and Midwestern was there ready to tackle and take them down for no gain.
Okay, if you're a Buff fan and you're watching this right now, do your magic, whatever it is you
spin
need,
around,
you need
open
to do.
your umbrella, whatever you got to do.
Because it's field goal time. Come on, Kaysen, we got this one. Polavoda will try what will be a 23-yard field goal. Snap down, hold down. The kick is up. Polavoda, no flags. Buffs break this scoreless game open. It's 3-0. West Texas A&M with the field goal there from Kaysen Polavoda. James Ingham with the hold. 3-0 lead WT. 3:46 to play before halftime. We're back after this timeout here on Flow Sports.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. The Buffaloes go on a 16-play, 68-yard drive. They cap it off with a 23-yard Kaysen Polavoda field goal to take the lead 3-0 over Midwestern. Took 8:18 off the clock. So a convincing strong drive here in the second quarter.
Here's the kickoff for the Buffaloes. Preston Gregg puts the right leg into this one, and it'll be returned from Adam Johnson at the 1-yard line. He has got great speed, gets a couple of blocks, and gets across the 30-yard line. Nice return for the Mustangs. Adam Johnson. Now, if you're Midwestern State, Rich Renner and his team, the offensive coordinator Billy Reebok, they say, fellas, we got to get going. Right now, only 50 yards of offense. That includes just 11 yards on the ground.
Well, that's no yards in the second quarter because that all was in the first quarter. And so, again, the defense has tightened it up quite a bit and has held them to, as you said, 50 total yards, 39 through the air, 11 rushing. So they haven't been able to get the run game going whatsoever.
Again, remember, for this Mustang offense, they've switched out quarterbacks, several times throughout the year.
Hard to get in rhythm when that happens, too.
Knievel on first down will hand it to the running back for a minimal gain there, the Christian Alaji, as JT Cavender is able to come up and make the stop for the Buffaloes.
JT continues to advance on that tackle board here at WT. Was he number 4 right now?
Yeah, and after that one, Bryce, he's got 6 tackles. So he came into tonight 18 tackles away from tying the number 3 spot. If he gets 19 tackles, he is officially 3rd on the all-time tackles list.
Engineering student, and he graduates in December with a degree.
Kneibel on 2nd down and long, airing it out, has a receiver down the field, and again just overshoots the target, DeMonte Green. That's about 3 times Midwestern State has had receivers open for big plays, and they just haven't been able to connect.
That's where that inconsistency comes, because if you, again, when you have your receivers who have great speed get up the field like that, you want to make sure it's a timing route where you know how far you need to throw it, basically, to get it so they can run under it and take it in for a score.
Okay, 3rd down here for Midwestern State. Tonight, they're just 1 of 5 on the money down. Throw across the middle, and again overthrown. And really, I think Kneibel, he saw pressure coming. He really didn't even look to see where the receiver was.
No.
He just chunked that ball as far as he could.
No, he knew the pressure was coming, and so, again, he had to get rid of it. You're absolutely right. He just threw it to where they're toward the middle of the field, hoping his receiver would run underneath it. It was just too far for the intended target to get there.
Right now, Bryce Kneibel is 4 of 15, 39 yards passing.
And Buffs almost blocked that again.
Tucker Swoboda fields the punt and steps out of bounds on the run near the 25-yard line. For Midwestern State, you wonder, as we get closer to the her first half ending, will they make a quarterback change potentially? But right now, the other thing, Bryce, is they just don't have a run game either.
Right. No, that's the thing that they haven't been able to, they got 2 yards on that. That's the first 2 yards they've got in this second quarter. And so, again, credit the defense. They've been able to stymie what, Midwestern wants to do offensively. And so they have not been able to get in sync. The Buffs on the last drive had a great drive, settled for a field goal. They've got 2:37 to work, a couple of timeouts. And so, again, let's see what they do here to try to get it up the field.
You know what I'd love to see? A touchdown.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Let's do it.
That'd be nice.
Cannon Gibson in the gun. Good protection again, looking down the field. Nobody's open, so Cannon takes off, slides in safely for a gain of 9 yards.
Yeah, 8, 9, yeah. And again, you can't blame him because the whole middle of the field was open, and so he didn't see any receivers open. So there you do take off and run, and again, you have a great gain of 9 yards on that carry.
He's got 56 rushing yards. Yeah. Just 35 passing yards. Trajan Henderson, he's back in at running back, and he has a good run for a first down. He saw Jamal Joseph on that last drive and said, I want some.
I was going to say, I saw him on the sideline while Jamal was running with the football, and you could tell
2-minute timeout.
He was antsy to get in there and go.
All right, that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. West Texas A&M leads over Midwestern State 3-0. We're back after this break here on the West Texas A&M Sports Network.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
When I got up out of bed to take a step, I collapsed, and it turned into osteomyelitis. My leg was amputated. It was within 2 days of being dead. I can say Northwest saved my life. Because in April, I was dead, for the most part. And we worked together hand in hand for 2 years, to where now I can walk again. And I just want to say thank you, Northwest, because that's my ultimate goal, to live and not ever give up.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as the Buffaloes lead this one 3-0. We're at the 2-minute timeout toward the end of the first half. Buffaloes with 181 yards of total offense, 52 for Midwestern State. But the thing about it, Lucas, is it's only a 3-0 lead. When you look at the statistics, you're going, oh, wow, they must be way ahead. And we're not. We're only up 3-0. And so, again, you're right. A touchdown would be very nice to have before they go into the locker room at halftime.
For WT, again, that the run game is starting to work, starting to wear down Midwestern State's defense just a little bit. But, Bryce, they've only had maybe 2 what you would call explosive plays. One of those was a longer run by Jamal Joseph. Midwestern State secondary has done a nice job defending the WT passing game, as Cannon Gibson has only thrown for, is it 35 passing yards?
Only 35, 5 of 10. But Cannon's rushed for 56. Jamal Joseph has rushed for 48. And Trajan Henderson's rushed for 36. So unusual for us to see this many yards on the ground game.
3 receiver split to the right. Hand off to Henderson running opposite. And he cuts inside at the end of the run and gains short yardage.
I say unusual, but yet at the same point, this is what Josh Lynn wanted to do today. He wanted to be able to run the football against Midwestern. He felt like, with the way the offensive line has been playing, that the run game would be a significant factor, and so far it has.
Gibson wants to throw here on second down. Going to run to the left, throw on the run to Trajan Henderson, first down. Buffaloes, that was a nice play there by the running back to turn around and give his quarterback an outlet.
Well, and again, the linebacker came out. He had Trajan. That was his coverage. Once he saw Cannon start to run, then he dropped off his coverage and went after the quarterback, which opened up Trajan for an easy pitch and catch.
Buffs get to save the timeouts. They have 3 remaining here with 1:27 left before halftime. Gibson throws down the sideline, coming back to try to make a play is Zorian Stanton, and he is into the end zone. Stampede, baby. How about those ball skills, partner?
I'll tell you what, he was going up against Pretest Powell, and both of them was like a jump ball. They were both going for it, and Stanton able to out-jump him, pull that one in, kept his balance, which was incredible, and is able to get in the end zone.
They're going to check on Cannon Gibson, who was a little bit hobbled after he threw that pass. He got hit pretty hard, but what a great connection down the side to Zorian Stanton. That's what you want to do. Just let your playmakers come back and try to make big plays. Polivoda's extra point is through the uprights and good, so West Texas A&M leads it 10-0.
That's what you wanted.
Yes.
And you got what you wanted.
with 1:20 to play here before halftime, 10-0, West Texas A&M leads. We're back right after this.
Nothing connects people in Canyon like WT football. No one connects Canyon to fast internet like Optimum. Get speeds up to 1 gig with 99.9% network reliability. Switch to Optimum Mobile and connect to big savings on America's largest 5G network. Optimum is an official partner of West Texas A&M Athletics. Sign up now at Optimum.com. Optimum, where local is big time.
Where are we going and how are we going to get there? Get there with room to spare in your new Ford Expedition from Tri-State Ford on I-40 at Ross. Grab your friends and go. Tons of new Fords are rolling in. Face the road ahead in a dependable truck. The built Ford Tough F-150. Looking for more horsepower? Saddle up the legendary Ford Mustang. Or how about a new Bronco or a Maverick? We've got your new ride. You'll find friendly hometown service every day at Tri-State Ford. Come see us on I-40 at Ross.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. A 5-play drive that covers 73 yards. 43 of that was Cannon Gibson to Zorian Stanton on an exciting catch. And the Buffs' extra point is good. Makes it 10-0.
Adam Johnson from the 3-yard line. Great special teams coverage by the Buffaloes. They stop him right at the 20-yard line. Zach Schlager, the senior linebacker, man,
special teams.
He's fired up. And, Bryce, for Schlager, I think it took him a little bit of time to get comfortable, not of being the player that he is, but just in a new system and trying to get his roll down.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that's what's hard when you're a guy like him who was a vocal leader up at Nebraska Kearney, and you come here, you don't know whether should I take steps forward or should I lay back? And, JT Cavender says, they welcomed them all in, and
Yes.
that's how those guys feel. And so it just took them, like you're right, a little bit to get going.
Kneibel will throw to the outside. Good.
That's a nice throw.
Yeah, good strikeout to DeMonte Green. They want to get him going and get this offense in gear. After that pass completion, they now have 59 yards of offense in this half.
And more importantly, that's 9 yards in this quarter.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Second down and short. Kneibel. Pressure in his face. Again, another throw. DeMonte Green, the out route, a little further down the field. First down, Mustangs.
And it's prevent defense for the Buffaloes. Basically, they're going to let everybody get passes caught in front of them. They just don't want anybody to get behind them. And so they'll let them go up 5, 10, 15 yards as long as they're not behind them. They'll let them do that as the clock, stops with every first down, however.
1 minute, 7 seconds left. Midwestern State has 2 timeouts remaining. Pass play, Kneibel. Well, same thing. They go to DeMonte Green again. 3 catches on this drive for number 12. Gain of about 8 yards there. You don't want to do this.
Well, you don't, but at the same
easy,
time,
Brian.
their receivers are so fast, so you don't want them to get behind you. That's what they're worried about here with a minute 3 left to go. That's why they're keeping, again, it's soft press coverage.
Second down and short. And again, they're getting to save the timeouts because the receivers are getting out of bounds. Ball thrown deep. Johnson had stopped about 20 yards down the field, and it was thrown for the long ball. So incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 2. They don't have to abandon the run game.
No, but again, they haven't been able to really to do much with the run. And so in that particular play, Adam Johnson looked like he was going up and in, and the pass was straight up the field. And so I don't know if they were on the same page that time.
Big play here for the Mustangs. Kneibel out of the gun. Buffs bring the blitz, and a lot of pressure there being applied by Eddie McClendon against the receiver, Justin White Jr. You saw the Mustang sideline, Bryce. They were saying
they wanted a flag, but it wasn't. He was there the same time the ball was reached, just like the great defensive play we talked about their defensive back a while ago. McClendon does the same thing. Once the ball gets there, he reaches in and knocks it away, and so that was just good defense.
And so now West Texas A&M, they still have 3 timeouts left.
Right.
They're going to get the football back. There's Tucker Swoboda waiting for this punt from a busy man tonight, Diego Gonzalez.
Flag on the play.
And it's a great punt. Swoboda fair catches it around the 12-yard line. What is this penalty, though, back near the line of scrimmage?
So the question is, was the Buffs offside or did they have movement?
Well, if it's offsides, Midwestern State's offense is coming back out.
That's right.
Offside, number 6, lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah,
that's a huge, costly mistake there by West Texas A&M because it gives Midwestern State a first down. You hope, Bryce, that doesn't come back to haunt WT in terms of points being put on the board here before halftime.
Right, no, absolutely, because it does give them the first down. They still get to keep their 2 timeouts, and now they're in Buffalo territory. And so regardless, it's at the 49-yard line, and they still got to go 49 yards, but they got a great special teams player that can kick a long-range field goal.
So they put the football on the 49-yard line. Kneibel, nobody's open right, just throws this ball up for grabs, and it was nearly caught but knocked loose by Ty Dillon at the last second, intended for Green. One difference so far that we've seen with Cannon Gibson versus Andrew Kneibel, Kneibel doesn't want to get outside of the pocket and run quite as much.
No, he doesn't. And really the way the pocket is being set up, he can't get to the outside. And so he either has to launch it, get it to the sideline. He does not want to take a sack by any stretch.
Does Bucky need gloves on a night like tonight, Bryce? Here's Kneibel. He'll throw to the outside, and this time Green was open. would have been for a 12-yard gain and a first down, but the ball sailed over his head.
I'll tell you what, Knievel took a big hit that time. Coming in to say hi again was Ashton Reynolds, and he took him to the turf. The officials on top of it made sure it wasn't a late hit. He didn't land on him with his body or anything else. He just took him to the turf in a rather rude way.
This Buff defense has been so good in the first 2 quarters of this game. Right now it shows just 79 yards of offense. Most importantly, no points on the board. Here comes another third down. Mustangs on third downs, 1 of 7.
Play clock's running down.
Yeah, they're going to have
to take a timeout.
They had to take one of their 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
So Midwestern State will talk things over. They'll have a 3rd and 10 from the WT 49-yard line when we return right after this break here on Flow Sports and the West Texas A&M Sports Network.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Whataburger's new Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double.
Sounds like a 5-alarm fire.
Not really, Frank. The jalapeno cream cheese, jalapeno ranch, and pickled jalapenos give it a pleasant heat.
So like a 4-alarm?
Nope. It's a delicious controlled blaze.
Like a little kitty stuck in a tree alarm.
Nah, hotter than that. Let's say the 2.5 alarm Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double. I think the pole's broken.
New Whataburger Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double. It's just a little hot.
Here's the big third down play for Midwestern State. They're going to bring DeMonte Green in motion across the play, and the ball was snapped. Knievel wasn't ready for it, and there was movement.
And there was all kinds of movement. The Buffs were pointing to the line, so it looks like there was movement on the part of the Mustangs. So they'll mark them off 5 more yards.
False start, number 55, offense, 5-yard penalty is 3rd down.
That's the center, Paul Ledette.
Well, you could have named about 3 different linemen on that one.
There's only one senior on the starting offensive line. That's Dwayne Brown, the left guard. So it's a young offensive line with a redshirt freshman and a couple of sophomores and a junior. Mustangs this time out of the gun. Buffs have just a 3-man defensive front. They're going to set everybody else back in pass coverage. Knievel over the middle. Green lost the football. He was jarred. Preston Stazuski and J.T. Cavender, the combination of those two, Bryce.
I'll tell you what. And then,
wow.
Believe it or not, there's Cam Manningham getting in the face of the receiver to say, hey, how you doing? And basically, when the ball got there, there were 3 defenders that were there to knock it away. Great job defensively by the Buffaloes.
Because for a second, Green had his hands on it.
He did. It was there. I mean, it was a nice throw. He just got leveled just as soon as the ball got there.
So the Buffs don't jump off sides this time. And the punter, Diego Gonzalez, again, same spot. Tucker Swoboda makes the fair catch at around the 15-yard line. Just 25 seconds remain, so most likely a couple of plays, and then the Buffs are going to go to the locker room up by 10 points in what has been, a very slow start for both teams, but incredible defense by West Texas A&M, and then the offense did get jump-started.
Yeah, the second quarter has been much better because both they scored, with 3:46 left to play in the second quarter on a field goal. That was a 16-play drive. And then the one they scored was only a 5-play drive, but 43 yards of that was that throw to Zarian Stanton.
At halftime, we will have a conversation. Kent Johnson will visit with head coach Josh Lynn. Looks like Cannon Gibson's just going to take the knee, and the teams will head to their locker rooms. So, again, just a great first half for this Buffalo defense. They left 3 points out there with the missed field goal early, but they were able to make it up with the 23-yard field goal from Kaysen Polivoda. And then they end up getting the touchdown to Zorian Stanton.
Beautiful drive. Both drives were really, really good. It was just, it was tough,
That's the end of the second
to
quarter.
kind of get things going a little bit. And so once they did, and again, that 16-play drive really kind of launched things for the Buffaloes as they were able to get their offense intact.
At halftime, we will look at some scores around the Lone Star Conference. We'll get these statistics for you as well as Coach Lynn starts to make his way over towards Kent.
And so, yeah, right now the Buffs lead us 10-0. Let's head down to the sideline as Josh Lynn is making his way over to Kent Johnson. All right, Kent, go ahead and take it away.
All right, we're ready. Kent, go ahead on the side with Coach Lynn.
Down on the sideline with head coach Josh Lynn, and let's start with the defensive effort, especially up front, pressure on the quarterback.
Lights out. I thought our two edge rushers, Reynolds and Suggs, have done a good job of getting around the edge and creating a pass rush with only 4, which is nice.
Secondary playing strong and solid tackling.
Right, solid tackling, and we're covering guys up, which helps. So extremely pleased.
Offensively, Cannon, good job. Controlled passing game. Zorian with 2 big catches.
2 big catches. We got to finish drives, though. I mean, we missed a field goal. We got a penalty down there that hurt us. I mean, we're moving the ball. We just got to finish drives.
So your message to the team?
We got to finish the game.
There you go. Yeah. Let's go get them.
Right, thank you.
That's Josh Lynn. Let's go back upstairs to Lucas and Bryce.
All right, Kent, thanks very much. Again, the Buffaloes lead it here at the half, 10-0.
Do you get the sense that Coach Lynn, he's happy, but feels like maybe it should be 20-0?
Yeah,
or
absolutely. I feel like he feels like they've left a lot of points out there. They've had, and again, when we get to it, I mean, you look at the Buffs have over 240 yards, so far in that first half.
And 149, Bryce, on the ground.
Yeah, no, that's been the big difference in this one. And so, again, they've left stuff out there. They need to clean it up and get ready to go in the second half.
We'll see if they can find those things in the second half and hopefully get a win here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. We'll take a timeout, come back, and have the halftime show for you. Buffs lead at 10-0 over Midwestern State at the break. You're watching WT and Midwestern State here on Flow Sports and the West Texas A&M Sports Network.
So what are you waiting for?
Buck Nation, it's time for Lineman vs. Lineman, powered by Excel Energy.
Is Kent coming up here?
He is.
Name as many power tools as you can.
They're definitely rebuilding. That's for sure.
Saw, drill, index, power saw, jackhammer, sander.
And the Buffs take the win. Thank you, Excel Energy, for being a proud sponsor of WT Athletics.
The best tailgates start with the best beef. And the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street,
yeah,
where
Missouri.
we do beef the best.
Tonight, we continue our journey through over a century of musical excellence as we proudly present the Sound of West Texas 107-year anniversary, Part 2. Our performance will feature iconic hits from every era, showing the evolution of music from the roaring 20s to today's most popular hits. This part of our show features Wipeout, The Horse, the theme from Rocky, When a Man Loves a Woman, Seven Nation Army, and Despacito. We will end with the power and passion of Latin jazz with the fan favorite closer, Malagueña, led by
Alabama leads LSU 7-3.
and Spencer Owens. We invite you to sit back and enjoy the Sound of West Texas, your WT Buffalo Marching Band.
JJ? I'm here. I don't have any stats other than what we got on the computer.
JT Cavender, mechanical engineering in Midlothian, Texas. I chose WT for football. You know, secondary choice, you know, definitely engineering. That's definitely what I looked at next, you know, and WT is a great engineering school. So some of the strengths of the engineering programs are being able to engage with the professors and be able to build a relationship with them. And then you have a great community behind you. And that's probably one of the strongest parts of Canyon and WT. And so it pushes me to be great.
I have always had a passion for sports. My purpose changed from being an athlete on the field to supporting other athletes during their athletic career. The athletic training program has given me opportunities to directly impact players on and off the court. Through my clinical hours, I have gained the knowledge and create rehab programs to help athletes play the sport they love. My efforts contribute towards getting players back in the game, and it is my mission to lead athletes to healthy lives. WT was my next step. Now I am fully equipped to helping athletes stay in the game through sports medicine.
My name is Jason Harris. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm a senior majoring in computer information systems with a minor in marketing. I know I always had to pursue a career in computers because that's where the world's going. I'm good at it, why not? But I also have a passion for creating content with my camera. I love photography, videography, and eventually I want to start my own marketing firm. I also want to keep growing, gaining more knowledge, so that way I can actually pursue the career that I want. As far as my favorite professors here, I learned more about business, management, and all aspects of that from him than I've learned from anybody else. Best class I've ever taken in my life. He just gives me perspective on the world that I never had before. And it made me realize that there's a lot more out there that I can do, and more out there that I still need to do and experience to become the person I want to be. WT special, because I came as an engineer. I discovered my love for photography, and I was able to branch out into my love for business. And it all let me do that without any pressure or any criticism. And without that, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
I'm learning the skills I need to be successful right here, right now. I'm ready to conquer anything that comes my way, from job interviews to working with a team and selling my art. I'm ready to take charge. WT was my next step, and I am on the path to becoming a successful art director.
Well, there you see the WT band out on the field as they perform their halftime show. The Buffaloes lead this one by a count of 10-0 here at the half against Midwestern State, and it's been a good start for the Buffaloes. Bryce Sheets now joined by Kent Johnson, and Ken, as we look at how they've played here in this first half, the defense, one of our keys to the game was cause mayhem defensively, and that's exactly what the D has done tonight.
Well, they are. You look at the team stats. Midwestern State total offense 79 yards, and on literally every play, the quarterback has been harassed, and the Buffs aren't selling the farm for that pressure. They're just man up, and here we come, and getting the job done when the pass does go downfield, as we saw in that final drive, either solid tackling or good play in the secondary breaking up the pass.
Well, and Coach Lynn talked about that it's either Reynolds or Suggs, both on the outside. The outside linebackers are forcing the quarterback to stay in the pocket. He can't even get to the outside, so he either has to throw it or, whatever he needs to do with it. But, again, you're right, 79 yards, only they had 50 yards in the first quarter, so only 29 yards in that second quarter. It seems like the defense is clamping down more and more and more with each passing week.
Well, you're exactly right. The Buffs have played better once they got to week 6.
Yeah.
They've played better each week, and it's been you know, when the defense plays well, it helps the offense, and that's what we're seeing tonight with the Buff offense. 240 yards, 149 on the ground. They haven't thrown the ball a lot, only 12 attempts, but Cannon Gibson's completed 7, and what an athlete Zorian Stanton is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The catch he made was incredible. It was a jump ball. He was able to go up. He was the shorter of the two, but went higher to pull that one in, and then kept his balance and got in the end zone. What a great reception and a touchdown run for Zorian on that one. And again, you called it, did you call it controlled passing? What did you call it?
Yeah, it's a controlled passing game. You're not throwing on every down, but you throw enough to keep them honest, and that kind of opens up the rushing a little bit. You know, Joseph has 48 yards. Yep. Cannon Gibson, of course, he had the one, what was it, about 28 yards scamper, but he's got 56. Yeah. So, you know, the Buffs offense is doing enough tonight because of what its defense is doing.
Well, and the one thing you wouldn't say coming into this one, I know Josh Lynn talked about it, that he wanted to get the running game going, 149 yards in that first half, which is incredible for a half, especially for the Buffaloes, and the fact is they are trying to control it with the run.
Well, they are, and you control the clock. And, you know, Midwestern State, even back into the Bill Maskell days, you have to control the football or they will, and you're going to lose. So, you know, the Buffs have won the last 4 times these teams have played, and got the 10-0 lead at halftime now because they're playing well on both sides of the ball.
You know, what's interesting, too, especially here at home, the last few ball games, you've noticed how the defense has kind of settled in the second half. They've kind of controlled it even more. They've done a great job in the first half. If they can control it more, that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking for a piece of wood to knock on here. But, you know, when I was talking to Josh Lynn there at the end of the half, it's like I want to say things and ask things, but I don't want to jinx them. So let's get in the locker room and talk to the team.
And what Lucas and I talked about, what Josh said to you going into the locker room was you could kind of sense from him that, yeah, we got 10 points. We should have more.
Should have more, yeah.
And that's really what he was talking about is our offense is starting to engage and get in gear. We should have more than what we have right now.
Yeah, you can't leave points on the field with the kicking game, and that's been an issue all year long. But, hey, they made a field goal tonight. That kind of got the crowd going.
Sure.
And then, you know, the offense responded after that. So let's see what happens in the second half.
Absolutely. Buffs lead at 10-0 here at the half. We'll take another break and be back right after this on Flow Sports.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Jeff Gilbert for your personal price plan today.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium, where the Buffaloes lead this one by a count of 10-0 as they were able to get, as we talked about, over 240 yards in that first half and able to hold Midwestern to under 80, 79 yards in that first half. As we look around the Lone Star Conference, Texas UT Permian Basin, no problem with Eastern New Mexico winning today 64-14. Also, it was Kingsville nip and tuck with Western New Mexico, but they come away with a 28-20 win earlier today. Also, Angelo State better than Western Oregon. They won that one 38-16. And so that's just some of the action that's going on around the LSC.
I believe with the win from Angelo State, that wraps up the Lone Star Conference regular season championship for them.
Okay,
today.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right.
With that win.
So.
Now, you go fast forward to next week, and after, hopefully, as Kent Johnson said, knock on wood, do whatever dance you need to do for the Buffaloes, hopefully to win tonight and have a 2-game win streak and some confidence. What WT could potentially do next week, Bryce, is play spoiler
Absolutely.
for Angelo State's postseason hopes.
Absolutely. And that would be a big one. And they know that too. They already got the win today. They know their next game is going to be an important one against the Buffaloes. And so, again, what's nice is the Buffs continue with each week to seem to get better and better and better. And so, again, it's making a difference for WT. Leading this one right now, 10-0.
We're hoping to get head coach Rich Renner down on the sidelines. Corin Davis going to get a chance to visit with him shortly as Midwestern State making their way out onto the field.
The other game, by the way, in the Lone Star Conference, Sul Ross on the road to take on Central Washington. So that one is going to take place as well. For WT as well, women's volleyball, they came away with a 3-1 match win over Texas A&M Kingsville down in Kingsville today. Also, Buffalo Soccer, they lost in the first round of the Lone Star Conference quarterfinals as they lost to DBU 3-2.
All right, Corin Davis is down with head coach Rich Renner of Midwestern State. Go ahead, Corin.
All right, Coach, you talked to me before the game that you guys needed to be able to score points. Offense was a little bit slow. What adjustments need to be made on that side of the ball?
Well, obviously, we've got to get the balls in the right person's hands to catch the ball. We've got to do a great job blocking, and we just got to continue to execute the play called. I think the guys are working hard. I think we had some opportunities there. We just had some drops, and we just got to be better.
I see Coach Reebok pulling Andrew Knable over after every drive, really having that intentional talk. What are those conversations being had?
You know, those talks are just to continue to trust your reads, understand the coverage that they're in and know where the open receivers are that we're trying to get the ball to.
Defense seems to remain a stronghold for you guys. What do you want to capitalize on? What did you like that you saw in this last half that you want to capitalize on in the second half?
Well, I think our defense, other than that big play, we can't give up in those big plays, but we've got to get some turnovers. We've got to capitalize on that. I thought we were playing really good field position-wise. We've got to continue to do that.
You talked before about energy givers, the guys that generate the energy on the sideline to keep the external from impacting the internal. Who continues to be that guy for you?
It's got to be everyone. It's got to be those guys out there making plays. We've got to have some energy givers that make the plays to give us energy on the sideline to get excited. And so we're not making plays, which means obviously we're not generating energy. So we've got to continue to do that. We got too many energy takers right now.
What do you need to see on this opening drive?
Well, we need to see a stop by our defense and make them go a punt, 3 and out, and then obviously our offense needs to go down and score.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Corin, and great interview down there with head coach Rich Renner. You know what I like, Bryce? I like the old school jacket that he's got. It reminds me of one of my favorite shows as a kid, and it was Coach.
Oh, yeah.
What's the guy? Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, Craig T. Nelson. That's right.
That was the jacket that those guys
Jerry
wore.
Van Dyke was his brother-in-law or assistant coach or something in that.
It was.
Can't remember. He was something.
It was a little bit of comedy, a little bit of sports, a little bit of drama mixed in.
It's kind of fun. Yeah. And that's the kind of jacket they wore. You're absolutely right. So you got
these are the things that I remember. Now, do I remember what I'm supposed to pick up on the way home from work?
Probably not. I'll tell you what, great first half for the Buffs as they lead at 10-0. And as Kent and I were talking about, what's interesting is the defense, the last 2 home games, they seem to have tightened things up when they come out in the second half. Well, they're holding them to 79 yards in the first half, and so if they can tighten it up even more, that'll be incredible.
And, Coach Renner was asked about the offense, specifically with offensive coordinator Billy Reebok. I know right now they're just trying to get the simple things going, but would you be surprised to see a wrinkle, a trick play, something?
This is kind of when you want to pull those out. Absolutely. I would not be surprised. And so from that standpoint, you got to get, and again, you want to get a spark for your offense. So those kind of, unique plays tend to bring about, sparks for different levels. And so again, if you're trying to get your offense in gear, that's one of the things you're going to do.
Getting closer here, starting the second half action as
see Josh Lynn talking with
Cannon Gibson.
He looks like he's okay. Kind of, hit the hand. Oh, he just unleashed a pass. So I think he's feeling fine. Says with the thumbs up, he's good to go. And so again, on that throw to Zorian Stanton, that 43-yard bomb that Zorian able to go up for and control and take into the end zone, he was shaking his hand a little bit. So not too sure whether he didn't hit it on a helmet or what he did, but just by throwing that one about 45 yards in the air without even trying indicates that Kenan Gibson feels like he's good and ready to go.
So again, the Buffaloes get the football to start the second half, and combination of maybe a trip to the concession stand with some hot chocolate and then the music that is pumping in here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium has the crowd energized again, ready to go.
I think they are indeed ready to go. It was interesting in soccer, you could hear the warm-up music over there.
You had a lot of energy
we had
at the
lot.
pitch. That was a battle. This kickoff going to go over Zorian Stanton. What? He's going to take it out
Now
of the
he's
end zone.
got to, yeah.
Thought he was going to take a knee, but he brings it out across the 20-yard line and gets to the 25. He caught that ball, and you saw him hesitate for just a second.
He was trying to determine whether or not, do I just take a knee and bring it out, or, well, he kind of stepped out, so it was like, okay, you got to go ahead and
We're
go.
doing this.
Yeah, let's go. And so he did, got it out to the 26. So a nice return for Zorian.
Lucas Kinsey alongside Bryce Sheets, Kent Johnson, Corin Davis. Glad to have you along for our final broadcast of the season here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. The Thunder Vision production team doing great work.
They've done a great job all year.
Yep.
And
no matter what sport we're doing,
yeah,
Bryce.
Absolutely. I mean, they have done a fantastic job just bringing great pictures.
We just try to not mess it up, right?
That's exactly right.
Here's Kenan Gibson, play action pass on first down. Brennan Ray, his intended target, but he was blanketed. Great coverage down the field for Midwestern State's defense.
Well, the interesting thing is Brennan Ray and Zorian Stan were both in the same pass pattern, or was that, maybe that wasn't Zorian, that was Tyree Tipton. Sorry, Tyree Tipton and Brennan Ray were in the same pattern. So not too sure who that actually was for.
And that coverage was from the outside linebacker. Very impressive. Quincy Darnell, step for step with Brendan Ray. Second down and 10, Buffs.
Looks like a blitz coming, too. They've got a linebacker out on Tyree Tipton, but he's about ready to blitz.
And Trajan Henderson takes it across the 30-yard line. He's got a first down, Buffs, running free to the 41-yard line. He has looked good. So has Jamal Joseph. So that means the offensive line's doing some good things.
They're doing great things. And the other thing, too, that was a touchdown-saving tackle there for Midwestern State is coming up to make that stop was Larry Donnell.
Henderson over the right side. He's got another nice gain up to the 45-yard line.
And as Kent was talking about, it's kind of a controlled passing game. You throw when you have to, but really let's try to keep it on the ground as much as we can, which is what Josh Lynn told us this week he wanted to do.
You're right. At the second quarter, it's been more limiting possessions for Midwestern State.
Yes.
So the offense is struggling. Then they get on the field, and maybe they're pressing a little bit.
You're right. Absolutely.
Second down play coming up here for the Buffs. First drive of this third quarter. And more Trajan Henderson. He broke free of the first would-be tackler.
He turned nothing into something as he's able to pick up 2 yards on that carry, and he was stopped at the line but kept his feet churning and able to pick up 2 more.
That is Larry Donnell, the safety who we talked about being their best player in terms of playmaking ability.
He kind of flies all over the place. He really is kind of that rover type of player.
Came into this game tonight with 60 tackles, and then all those big plays, 2 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries. Midwestern State would love to force a turnover in this situation. Third down and 4 for the Buffaloes. Gibson takes his drop, throws to the outside. Swoboda catches it. First down, Buffs. That was a great route. I mean, he cut that thing off, and the timing from Gibson to Swoboda, they have been a lethal combination this year.
So the safety is Larry Darnell on that one, but he had stepped up, and so it was single coverage, and that is what Gibson saw on that and was able to make that connection.
Buffs work quickly. They go with another pass play here. Gibson scrambling, running to the left, and has to throw this ball out of bounds. Excellent coverage from the Mustang secondary, that play.
Yeah, they really did. He came to the near side, and so both receivers in this pattern on the near side were covered, and so do the right thing, just throw it away. Make sure you don't get sacked for a loss. And I believe that is Thunder 15 right there walking on the sideline. So across the way.
Yes. Kind of the preview of what is to come. And I think they even had they let the fans come down there and take pictures. And here's a throw to the outside. This time that combination did not work. Ball was thrown too hot as Swoboda really hadn't turned his head yet. That ball was sailing over.
Swoboda got knocked on he ran into a defender out of bounds, and knowing Tucker, I'm glad he just said, okay, and came back to the near sideline because it's kind of intentional. Corin Davis over there with Thunder 15 right now.
Third down and long. And the Buffs go on the ground. Trajan Henderson, a huge hole opens up. Did he get
it was a direct snap
enough for the first down?
He's close, but it was a direct snap sort of to him. It was too high for Cannon. As Cannon went up with his right hand, Trajan stepped in front and took the snap.
Midwestern State gets caught in a bad situation where they were trying to sub, and the Buffs were ready to snap the ball, so a timeout was taken.
It's their first timeout.
We'll take a timeout as well. 12-14 to play early here in the second half, and WT still leads over Midwestern State 10-0.
Hey, grab me one too.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as the Buffaloes force Midwestern to take a timeout.
This is 4th down and 1, and WT going for it. Why not? The run game has worked. Trajan Henderson is going to pick up enough to move the sticks. First down, Buffaloes. And again, credit this
offensive line.
Bruising offensive line.
Yeah, left side of the line that time. They were determined to open up a running lane for Trajan to run through.
Shout out to the seniors Joe Tayasi and Matthew Ames. Matty Ames, the right tackle, throw across the middle. Swoboda, he was looking for a flag.
Yeah, he should have got a flag on that one. As he put his arms up, they were knocked down. That's why he's got his hands up in the air going, hey, they grabbed my arms as I was trying to pull that one up. And so there should have been a flag on that one.
Incomplete pass. And now you can see this balance that WT is getting offensively. The run game is working, so that is opening up some stuff for Cannon Gibson and his receivers.
177 on the ground, 112 through the air.
Trajan, left side. Look at this hole. Cuts inside, runs through defenders. Henderson, 1st and goal, Buffaloes.
Yeah, just a nice run again off the left side of that line, as he is able just to lower his shoulder and just keep running. Brennan Ray is all excited. He opened up, got a nice block on that one as well. Buffs are going to hurry up.
Gibson gives to Trajan, and this time Midwestern State stacks it up. There's a penalty marker thrown in the back of the end zone. So not sure what the official saw there.
Could have been, I mean, it wasn't a pass play, but don't know if there was contact made after the fact.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on defense.
Oh, boy.
That's what they got.
Half the distance.
Well, that's why they stacked him up so quick, Bryce.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seemed like there was a lot out there, but I didn't count them to see if they had more than 11.
That's been an issue all night with the defense
and
trying
what they're doing is they're running in. They've got 4 down linemen, so they'll run in fresh 4. They're not subbing 1 or 2 at a time. They will run in 4 and 4, and then also run in a linebacker or 2. And so that's where that confusion on their shuffle kind of comes into play.
So it is still 1st and goal, but now it's 1st and goal at the 3. Is the senior going to get a touchdown from the backfield here on senior night?
That'd be nice.
It's going to be a pass play to the outside. Brennan Ray, tight end. Wow. Just stroll into the end zone, big boy. Touchdown Buffalo, 16-0 lead. Cannon Gibson with the touchdown toss, his second of the game, this time to the old reliable tight end, Brennan Ray.
Well, and interesting as Tucker Swoboda comes over and gets in the face of Larry Donnell to say, hey, because Tucker had a seal block on that one. He took out 2 receivers that were over there to allow Brennan Ray just to take that in. Then he ran across the field to make his point. So, anyway, he's full of vim and vigor.
Maybe we'll have that replay. Let's see if we can see that on the touchdown. Here's the extra point attempt from Polivoda. And it is good. West Texas A&M leads 17-0 over the Mustangs of Midwestern State. Still 10:59 to play, third quarter, after Cannon Gibson finds Brennan Ray in the end zone.
Just a beautiful pass pattern, it really was.
We'll step aside, take the timeout, come back with the kickoff. Buffs lead 17-0 here, early third quarter.
Media timeout.
No, so he throws a block over there in that corner. Takes out 2 guys. Takes the 2 receivers with him. And then Ray just takes it. He runs all the way over here on this side. Well, the Buffaloes go on a 12-play, 74-yard drive. It takes 3:53 off the clock, and it's a 3-yard pass from Cannon Gibson to Brennan Ray, and the Buffs' extra point makes it 17-0. WT right now, 306 total yards to 79 for Midwestern, and that's been a great offensive performance, but even more impressive defensive performance.
Yeah, if you're Midwestern State now, the sense of urgency is at a level 9 out of 10 right now.
Yeah.
Offensively, they got to get some stuff going.
Well, it goes back to your question then. Do you see some trick plays? Do you bring out those things that, you're looking for an offensive spark is what you're looking for right now?
Well, the Mustang kick return players come out dancing to the YMCA, so they're fired up.
They're still good spirit.
It's ageless, right, Bryce? I mean,
how do you not get excited with the YMCA? I mean, that's just how it is. Nice run for the Buffs, nice drive. Again, 12-play drive. And so that's been what's been great for the last 4 series for the Buffs.
Preston Gregg kicks it off. It's going to be returned from the 5-yard line up across the 20 and then taken down near the 25-yard line. David Domenezes makes the tackle against the return man, number 8, Arabia Bradford Jr. So that's where the Mustangs will take over on offense, trailing 17-0.
Michael Anuzzi comes up with a loose ball. He's trying to convince the official that there was a fumble on the play as we watch the replay here. And he is down. Then the ball comes free. So, again, good job. The officials on top of that one. Let's see what the Buff defense does as they get ready.
Hopefully a lot of what we saw in the first half.
Go for the second half.
Empty backfield on the first play of the third quarter here for Midwestern State. Andrew Kneibel hands it to the receiver, fakes the reverse, keeps it himself across the 30-yard line. And so there's your answer, Bryce.
Yeah, a little razzle-dazzle with no razzle, just the dazzle. And so, again, but it's a nice gainer. It's 9 yards on that end around, and so that's a good way to start your first offensive possession in the second half.
It was Jalen Rush, the running back that they had put out into the slot position. He takes the carry for 9 yards, so a good start for Midwestern State. pitch play. And the running back, first down for the Mustangs. Again, Jalen March. This is obviously they're all important right now with the Mustangs being down by 17, but this opening drive, Bryce, if Midwestern State is able to go down the field and put points on the board, I think that's a huge.
It's huge, yeah. It says a lot. And, again, they only had 26 yards on the ground so far here through into the third quarter.
New running back, Alaji, back on the field for Midwestern State. They fake it to him. Quarterback keeps it. This is a new quarterback, by the way, as I look down, and it is not 16. Is it 18? Yep, they just switched quarterbacks on that play right there. That was James Cooper Jr., who ran that play there. He comes off the field. Knievel will come back on the field, and I'm going to get these binoculars out.
Yeah. Watch as they keep trading them out. Again, they faked the pitch. If they went with the pitch, they had more running room than what the quarterback had on the keep that time.
Fake it to Alaji. The throw down the sideline. Is that a catch from Green?
Nope. They say incomplete.
He's showing the official.
Sideline officials.
He's saying, I tucked it. I promise you. They're pointing down to Coach Renner, who was down there close to where it was at. The Midwestern State sideline is saying that was a catch.
I mean, it was a great athletic effort. Let's look on the replay, which we won't have.
Coach Renner has that red challenge flag in his hand right now. He's
debating,
telling the official.
The problem was there were 3 officials that said no, so it wasn't just one. It was 3 officials that signaled that it had hit the turf.
And he just put the challenge flag back in his pocket. So it's 3rd down and 8. Knievel stands in the middle, throw incomplete.
Buffs came on a blitz, brought 2 linebackers late that time, and so that put extra pressure on the quarterback. And again, Buffs give up a first down on that opening series here in the second half for Midwestern, but then clamp down again and now force another punt.
And you can see the body language, frustration setting in early here in the second half for Midwestern State. They just cannot get the offense going. Diego Gonzalez punts.
I'll tell you what, he's been a star tonight.
Swoboda made one man miss, and then he's thrown down. Good special teams play. And Tucker Swoboda is not making friends with Mustangs tonight.
Well, and again, with the conversation that we had with Stazuski and with JT this week is, you know, if anybody's going to chatter and speak a lot, it's going to be Tucker Swoboda. So he likes to engage in conversation.
Yes.
In fun conversation. You know, that's what makes college athletics fun, too. I mean, again, just if you're having a good time, and obviously when you're up 17-0, you're having a good time.
Yes.
And so, you know, that's, again, you want to continue to enjoy what's taking place out there on the field right now.
Buff offense, a lot of confidence right now. Already 306 total yards of offense and a 17-0 lead. Whistle blows.
So got movement, apparently.
False start, number 59, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So trying to get a block going quickly was Matt Ames. You got a chance to talk to Matt a couple of weeks ago.
He's a fun guy. You know, Bryce, you and I have done a lot of broadcasts over the years, and you sometimes do broadcasts with guys who were former players. He may be a broadcaster one day. Here's a pitch play to Tyree Tipton, trying to get him involved with his speed. And good job by Midwestern State as they track that play down.
They forced it farther to the outside than the Buffs wanted to go, and so he couldn't really turn the corner. He was able to pick up a few, but of the yards they lost on the penalty.
That was Ezra Davidson, the outside linebacker, that made the nice tackle.
You know, we talk about Midwestern's trick plays. Buffs have an opportunity here with, you know, if they've had some that they've been working on in practice, this is a good time to see if they work.
Tyshawn Buckner on the field. He has one catch today. He's the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Play action. They roll him out. The catch made by Tipton makes one man miss, spins off of another tackler, and then a collision at the 21-yard line. Goodness gracious, coming across
The fact
was
that
Jalen Broadus, the free safety.
The fact that he made the first 2 tackles miss, I mean, that's his deceptive speed, but then they just all converge and end up on Tyree.
Well, after that hit, you can hear it. Both Midwestern State and WT sides, they're fired up right now.
Yeah.
It's 3rd down and 9 for West Texas A&M from its own 22-yard line. This is a big, big play for the Midwestern State defense. They need to get off the field. Gibson, good protection, just surveying the field, trying to find an open receiver. He's going to heave the ball down the side. Tipton trying to make a play on the ball, and he can't because he's being held. This is going to be a penalty against the Mustangs, and it's going to give WT a first down.
Credit the veteran receiver. He sold that all the way as he turns back, tries to go toward the ball, and again.
Pass interference, number 14, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And he sold it and made the official throw the flag. He didn't really have a choice as again, having a conversation with the official is Jermaine Witherspoon, and he's saying he was pushed off. And so, again, that's what veteran receivers will do.
Running play, Cannon Gibson carries a tackler, Larry Donnell, across the 40-yard line to the 43.
See, that's where, like I said, Donnell is more like a rover because he plays back at strong safety, but at the same time, you'll see him walk up almost to a linebacker position. He's kind of reading, really, he's spying on the quarterback more than anything else to see what, the QB's doing and how he wants to react.
2nd down and short play. A nice job by Trajan Henderson.
Yeah.
He was stopped about a yard or 2 short of the first down, but he kind of spins off and ends up picking up enough to move the chains.
He knew he was a little short, so he just kind of turned away from the defender, tried to fall forward, and was enough to pick up the first down.
Another carry for the senior running back from Fort Worth, and he's going to get the ball into Mustang territory just on the other side of the 50.
Trajan kind of slow to get up. He's trying to be helped up, and Kenyon Ives was trying to help him up. Now he's going to come out. I think he got kind of hit awkwardly on that one.
It is 2nd down and 7. We're under 6 minutes to left here in the 3rd period. Buffs 17-0 lead. Gibson runs it to the left, picks up a block from his tight end Brennan Ray, and then dives forward close to the 45-yard line.
And again, the Buffs feel good with a controlled run game. They're trying to just run the clock as much as they can. 17-0 lead, and so again, they're just going to milk it as much as they can.
Yeah, this becomes, in a way, Bryce, demoralizing to your opponent.
Yeah.
When the offense is struggling, they can't, get points. Hard to get even first downs, and they're standing over there watching. New running back in the game for the Buffaloes, Cameron Brown, number 35, and he stopped short, but he knows how to use his shoulder pads.
Cameron wanted contact on that one, and he was looking for somebody to run into, and so – again, Cam just short about a yard, so it'll be 4th down and 1.
Well, at this point, why not go for it?
Oh, yeah.
Henderson gets back on the field for the Buffaloes. They fake it to him. Gibson keeps it, and Midwestern State was ready for it. Huge play by number 32, Ezra Davidson. He stops Cannon Gibson for a loss of about 3 yards. Mustangs get the ball back. And the defense is fired up right now. It's a huge play for them. The offense, look at them, Bryce. They're all huddled up over on that side. Midwestern State, Rich Renner right now trying to fire his guys up and say, we have got to move the football.
Well, it was an RPO for Cannon Gibson, and it looked like had he given it to Trajan, he would have picked up the first down. Instead, he tried to keep it and roll out to the near side, but there were 2 defenders there waiting for him as a linebacker comes up, and again, they make the stop. and so turns it back over to Midwestern.
Handoff. Nope, they fake it. They're going to throw down the middle of the field. Caught by DeMonte Green. A late penalty marker flies way behind on the other side of the field. That's a good catch from the wide receiver.
Awkward play.
It was very awkward. Everything about it. The ball was actually, it's a great catch by
Ineligible
Green.
downfield. Number 57, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Just a tough break there for Midwestern State, because even on a play that looked like it shouldn't have resulted in what happened, Bryce, it's going to come back.
Well, it was an RPO, fake handoff, basically. So the lineman goes downfield, I guess, believing the running back has it. So he goes down.
I thought he had it.
I did too. And then the quarterback pulls it out and then throws it awkwardly across the grain, basically, and finds a receiver. But again, all for naught.
Yeah, DeMonte Green had the catch, had a first down, but after the penalty, it is 1st and 15 for the Mustangs. Throw to the outside, incomplete. Goes right through the hands of the intended receiver, Jalen Robertson.
He threw it behind Robertson. He tried to twist around and pull that one in, but that was just a bad throw from the quarterback.
That brings up the Lions Realty third down.
Well, the PA announcer says
No,
it's third, but it's only second.
It is the third. Yep, it's the third play, but we forgot about the penalty. It got the crowd fired up.
It did.
You call a false start on the public address announcer? 2nd down and 15, and now
timeout taken by the Buffaloes.
WT wants to talk things over, so we'll take a timeout. 17-0, Buffs leading comfortably here, third quarter action.
Timeout.
We're back right after
West
these
Texas.
messages on
Their
Flow
first
Sports.
timeout.
Hey, grab me one too.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as a timeout taken by the Buffalo defense as they want to talk things over on this 2nd down and about 15. They saw something, I guess, in essence, what Midwestern was trying to do offensively that they didn't react to on the field. So they saw something and wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page.
I still don't get how
The battle ball.
how these people can do this, Bryce. And I played football. And it was fun when you had the shoulder pads on and a helmet and all this. This one, you see these people do this, and they can't get up.
I wonder if you could get a battle ball league, kind of like football. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
They've got everything nowadays. Have you seen that they've got the slapping?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Competition.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that is.
We stand up next to each other. You slap me as hard as you can.
Yep.
And I'm going to try not to fall down.
Yeah. That's beyond my time, I think. Maybe back in the college days, I might have tried that. But
there's extreme sports, and then there's.
Yeah. Be smart sports.
Midwestern State, 2nd down and 15 after that penalty for the ineligible man downfield. Good protection. Quarterback unsure where to go with the football at the last second. Did he complete it?
That was a great catch.
Juggling catch for a first down. Move the
Buffs
sticks.
tried to knock it away.
That's Arabia Bradford Jr. He caught it about 4 times.
And it kind of got turned around, and as he batted it in the air and then brought it back down, he did a nice job. That's a good athletic play. And you can beat up your offense or your defense on that one, but I mean, you got to tip your hat to a guy that makes just a great athletic play and is able to pick up the first down.
That is just the 7th first down picked up by the Mustangs in this game. Knievel throws to the outside. That's a good throw. Catch made at the 39-yard line. Coming upfield for some more. And a first down is Justin White Jr.
Well, White does a nice job. He goes to the outside, then puts the brakes on because he doesn't want to go out of bounds. He wants to see if he can turn it upfield and does, and in doing so picks up the first down and moves the chains.
So if you think about the defense getting off the field on a 4th down and 1 play, if the offense can produce some points here, can Midwestern State finally snag some momentum here in this game?
Well, that brought in Reynolds and Suggs back in to put pressure on the quarterback.
Christian Alaji is the running back, set to the left. They're going to pass it, though. And it is nearly intercepted. It goes off of the hands of Dyquest Shaw. And guess, we talked about it the other night. Who's always around the ball?
Yeah, JT Canada.
And he's mad he didn't catch it.
Yeah. He's got that arm thing on in his left arm, and so I don't know if that kind of impeded his attempt to pull that one in.
Coach Lynn said that the guy needs a neck roll, right?
Yeah. He needs all kinds of stuff. And again, Buffs changing quickly. Let's see if they get everybody off. Boy, they do. Just barely get everybody off.
Second down play, throw to the outside.
That's out of bounds. You got to call that out of bounds.
The officials are going to come together.
He was out of bounds.
They say DeMonte Green made the catch.
No.
He held onto the ball, but
he did.
You thought he was out of bounds?
Yeah, I thought when he dove, he landed out of bounds. He didn't have any feet down whatsoever. He wasn't tight roping his feet were in the air as he dove for that one.
That brings up a Lions Realty third.
So the catch made by DeMonte Green, he's having a really solid performance tonight, several catches, but it's 3rd down and short, and Midwestern State.
There's movement now.
Yeah,
but the official had stopped them. Not sure why there would be a penalty because the official was there and had stopped them from snapping the ball. Let's see what they do here.
Ball start, number 57, offense. 5-yard penalty is 3rd down.
You saw the offensive coordinator, Billy Reebok, coming out and talking with his quarterback. I think that there was some miscommunication before that play happened. So now instead of 3rd and 1, it's 3rd and 6. You do have a great field goal kicker here, Bryce.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if you don't get this first down, you desperately need points, but you're down 17.
Yeah. The wind has died down, so that's not really a factor in this one right now.
Snap back to the quarterback, Knievel. Throw is almost intercepted. They tried to go to Green again, and Dyquest Shaw says,
Well,
not this time.
He's been burnt with their speed, but when he's got that man-man coverage and basically there's nobody going upfield, but he's just a little out route, he's going to stay with him, and he's been able to play some really stingy defense.
Well, you've been waiting to see, according to the stats, the 2nd best kicker in the nation, best kicker in the Lone Star Conference. Here he is, Joseph Carlson. 14 made field goals. This one will be from 40 yards out. The hold from Diego Gonzalez. Good snap. They get the hold down, and Carlson's kick is good. So Midwestern State is on the board. They now trail by 2 touchdowns after a 40-yard field goal is good for Joseph Carlson, his 15th of the season. It's 17-3. Buffalo's leading. We're back after this timeout here on Flow Sports.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try it. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Well, 7-play drive that covers 30 yards. They cap it off with a 40-yard field goal from Joseph Carlson. Midwestern gets on the scoreboard. They now trail 17-3, 1:58 left to play here in the third quarter.
Definitely a weapon to have. Excellent kicker. And they've had really good kickers for a long time.
Yep.
Going to kick it deep. Zorian Stanton from the 1-yard line. Makes a couple men miss. Across the 20, breaks a tackle. Flag flies in from behind. So unfortunately, the Buffs' excellent field position may not be as good as what it seems to be right now.
Yeah, nice return by Zorian. Again, good speed. They had him pinned at the 1-yard line, and he brought it back out across the 35. Let's see what this penalty is going to be. Most likely a push in the back.
Holding, number 14, return team, 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
Tucker Swoboda trying to get a block out there, called for the hold. So we'll mark it back inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
You know, the hoodie, Bryce, reminds me of Tobias Harris.
Yes.
He made that famous here at WT. And, you know, Tobias, he's playing in the Canadian Football League.
You had really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
You had a great question when you asked Preston Suzuki about those role models. He was one of those that he talked about how to be a leader on the team.
1 minute, 49 seconds left, third quarter. Midwestern State now has the offense up to a total of 134 yards. Buffs staying with that run game. It's been very effective tonight. Trajan Henderson with another carry on the night. Trajan getting closer to 100 yards. Bryce, he's got 18 carries for now 95 yards.
Again, you could tell coming out tonight, he just seemed determined on this senior night that he kind of wanted to explode. And again, 18 carries. That's what you like when you're a running back.
Well, and that was one of our things that we were looking at before the game, because Midwestern State was giving up 190 rushing yards on the season average and 19 rushing touchdowns. Gibson goes play action here, heaves this ball down the field dangerously. It's intercepted back at the 30-yard line. Donnell, he's bringing it back for Midwestern State. Donnell at midfield, and he will be taken out of bounds by Trajan Henderson. A huge turnover there. I think Gibson thought he was throwing it away, and Donnell, the ball hawk back there, just
ran it down.
He made his third interception of the year.
Well, that was just a great defensive play. I'm not sure what Cannon was doing, but the bad thing about this, besides the interception, is they just scored to cut the lead to 2 scores, and now you've given it back to them where their offense was able to move the ball the last time they were out on the field. And so, again, you got to question why you want to throw that far up the field.
And really, Bryce, the other thing you saw after the interception, it went into the Midwestern State bench, and they're getting fired up now for the first time in a while. Here's a good carry over the right side for the running back, Jalen March. What you don't want to do in a game where you're pretty much dominating is
let them back in.
Yeah, leave your opponent some room.
You don't want any wiggle room there. And, again, you don't want to give them that spark. And we talked about that. What's that spark that can kind of get them fired up a little bit? And so, again, interception from the defense, that turns it back. You already got 3 points on a decent drive tonight.
Empty backfield again this time. Jalen March, he's set as a wide receiver on the bottom of the screen. There he comes in motion. Handoff to March. Fake the reverse. March, good speed. He's at the 35. March ushered out of bounds by J.T. Cavender after a big pickup.
Well, that's what I mean. You get that emotion. You get that rhythm. Now they feel like their offense is in rhythm a little bit. And so utilize the speed, what you have with those receivers. Those are your biggest play weapons that you have.
They run the clock, so he went out of bounds, but they run the clock, and that will be the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter.
17-3 lead for West Texas A&M, but Midwestern State, they've got something going. We'll see what happens here in this fourth quarter. WT trying to win its 5th game. We'll take the timeout, come back with fourth quarter action after these messages.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. They've turned out the lights. Bucky is playing some music. We're going to go down to Corin Davis. Corin, Midwestern State finding some momentum.
Renner, we talked about it at halftime, having an energy giver, having energy, generating it on the sidelines here. I will say most of the third quarter, like he had said, most of the first half was like there wasn't a whole lot of energy. But after that interception by Larry Donnell, things changed. The momentum shifted. These guys started chanting. These guys started cheering. There were smiles on their faces. They were giving high fives. There's a lot there. They're even dancing right now. They're dancing to the music here, guys. So yes, definitely a different look here on this sideline and a great way to go into the fourth quarter. Another thing I want to note too, they're not only having to battle this WT football team, but they're also having to battle the weather. It's pretty chilly. It's dropped in temperature. So we've seen a lot of these guys having to stretch and stay warm on the sideline.
All right, thanks so much, Corin. You stay warm down there. She had that big toboggan on, so it is Midwestern State 17-3. They're trailing by 2 touchdowns going into this fourth quarter. Buffaloes have been in control from the beginning. Pitch to Jalen March, gets a block on the edge and gets across the 20-yard line to about the 19. Sean Martin comes up, makes the tackle for the Buffaloes.
So is this their first time in the red zone? I believe it is.
That very first drive, they got close, but I don't know if they
got
in.
a penalty, moved them back. So I have to double check on that.
It's second down and short. Knievel throw nearly intercepted. Ty Dillon said that he did intercept it. A late penalty marker comes in. It's going to be pass interference against the defense.
Man, that's questionable because really it was very good defense, and unless it was before the ball got there, other than that, I mean, it looked to be like good defense all the way around. Officials are talking about it. Now here they're going to render their decision.
Pass interference, number 3, the defense. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So they said he caught the ball. I thought Ty came up with the ball, but nevertheless, the officials right there getting on the same page, make sure. Also the same thing. Ty's getting an explanation.
Dyquest Shaw will come on the field and give Dillon a rest.
First and goal on the 8-yard line for Midwestern State.
A lot of conversations happening in this game between.
Josh Lynn just comes over and pats him on the head, said, good job.
Knievel pitches it to March, this time going right again. He gets a block, but Schlager is there to make the tackle. They're trying to kick that outside linebacker out. It's Josh Beard, and he's doing a pretty good job holding his ground, and that's why these inside linebackers
can come around and swoop in. Yeah, exactly.
Buffs make substitutions again. Ashton Reynolds back on the field, along with Jason Harris, sophomore linebacker from Austin. Second down and goal from the 8-yard line for Midwestern State, trailing the Buffs by 2 touchdowns, just starting the fourth quarter. Quarterback wants to throw and has to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, you got pressure put on him right away. Was it Suggs that came in?
Harris.
Or Harris that came in and put pressure on him. And again, he kind of had some blockers, and Harris just shed the blockers and forced the quarterback to throw that one away.
It's been hit or miss. It's been about 50-50 with the Midwestern State passing game. About half the time, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The other half, way off rhythm, pressure in the quarterback's face, throws that are off. This is a huge third down and goal from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, if WT can hold and force just a field goal out of this interception, that'll be great.
Kneibel, throw to the outside, had a receiver wide open, and he airmailed it over the intended receiver, Justin White Jr. That's a good route that they ran, kind of a pick play.
Yeah, they had two receivers over there, and White was wide open, and he just overshot him. I mean, that just wasn't, a solid throw that time. And so, again, that brings up fourth down. And so bring on your field goal unit. So for the Buff defense, you got to feel good that you didn't allow the interception to turn into a 6-point conversion.
The problem with the field goals, Bryce, even if they make this, they're going to be down by 11 points. At some point at Midwestern State, they're going to have to get 6. They get the hold down as the snap was a little off, but it doesn't matter because that will be a 25-yard field goal through for Joseph Carlson, his second field goal of the game, and Midwestern State cuts into that lead again. Now it's 17-6, West Texas A&M leading. Fourth quarter action. Don't go anywhere. We'll see how this one ends up between the Buffaloes and the Mustangs here on the West Texas A&M Sports Network.
I am here to contest the new Whataburgers from Whataburger.
What?
Real wings have bones. And these boneless wings are actually premium chicken tender bites tossed in one of Whataburger's famous sauces. Honey butter, honey barbecue, buffalo, or
sweet and spicy.
And now Nashville hot? Those do not turn these Whata wings into real wings. I know what a real wing is. That it's not
Whataburger, Whata wings.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. 8-play drive that covered 39 yards following the interception. Joseph Carlson on a 25-yard field goal to cut the Buff lead to 17-6. More importantly, the Buff defense kept that to a field goal.
TJ Moore Jr. back there to receive this kickoff. It sails over his head. They'll let it go. No flags. And West Texas A&M offense will come back on the field. It's a situation, Bryce, where if you're WT, you're still leading and it still feels pretty comfortable, but not right where you want it to be. They can put this out of reach, though, if they can get a drive and score another touchdown.
Well, and that's the thing. You need another time-consuming drive, and again, you would just want to continue to pick away on the runs and everything else and move it down the field. Again, the run has been great for you tonight. The Buffs have over 213 yards on the ground, so you just want to continue to march down the field. Don't let them get back into this, get emotionally back into this.
On first down, handoff up the middle, Trajan Henderson. They're doing a better job against him defensively here in the second half. Quincy Darnell and Jordan Crawford combined to make the stop.
That marches him 2 yards closer to 100, but needs to break one here.
Play action. Throw to the outside. Good catch by TJ Moore Jr. Came off of his fingertips, but then he was able to snag it back in. And it's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down.
That was a quick rifle shot from Cannon Gibson. That came out with some speed on it. TJ Moore did a nice job to kind of pull it in, flip it in the air, and control it.
Under 13 minutes left in this game. Buffalo's trying to make it 5 straight wins over their rivals from Wichita Falls. Throw across the middle. What a catch. TJ Moore Jr. I don't know if the coverage could have been any better.
No, that was great defense, and that was a great throw that only your receiver, you have to thread the needle on that. And Moore has done that like 3 different games this year so far. And again, just a nice job, good hands to pull it in.
Prentice Powell on the coverage, the corner for Midwestern State. Yeah, last week, Bryce, T.J. Moore Jr. did it on a 59-yard touchdown against Texas A&M Kingsville. Here's a flip pass out to Trajan, and he is unable to catch that ball. It's an incomplete pass. He had two defenders in his grill there.
And again, that was kind of nonchalant. There wasn't, you don't have to throw it hard. I'm not saying that, but it was just kind of a flip and not really anything on it. And
looked like one you're throwing with your grandson,
yeah,
right?
in your neighborhood, exactly, in your neighborhood or like that with my grandkids. And again, you're barely getting it to them, and so I don't know. Time is called.
Yeah, there's a timeout. I'm trying to see who called for it. Both.
I think what Midwestern is talking about is they thought it was a lateral.
Behind?
It wasn't. It was
scrimmage?
definitely a forward pass. And so if he's challenging it.
Midwestern has called a timeout to challenge that is a backwards pass. The play will be reviewed.
Well, it wasn't. It was definitely a forward pass. And so.
Gotta let this guy make the call.
Tonight, Citizens Bank will present a $1,000 check to Mark just for showing up for tonight's
All right. That's
or
awesome.
that.
That's even better. Cool. Yeah, nice. I think he thought he was going to do a flag routine or something. Got the American flag, and that's awesome. Congratulations, Mark. That's cool.
We're going to have to try that sometime, Bryce. Next year for military appreciation.
There you go. That would be an easy costume to get and put together. So, yeah.
There's the Maroon Platoon. They're making noise right now. So they're going back and looking at that last play, which Bryce and I were just discussing. And, again, kind of a toss, soft toss from
our
Gibson
angle,
to Trajan.
And we're looking right at it. It's a forward pass. I'm not quite sure why they thought it was a lateral, but, from our angle, anyway, definitely looked like a forward pass. Here's the replay. Let's see. We can watch on the replay here. And so Trajan, well, now maybe not. That may not. That may have been a backward lateral. I thought he was out further in front. But, again, looking at that, that may be a call that Coach Renner wins on this one.
Well, this would be huge.
It's at the 40-yard line is where the pass was and was recovered. Right now they have it marked back at the 44-yard line. But, again, looking at that replay, that very well could have been a lateral.
If the call's overturned, Bryce, it's going to be Mustang football.
At the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
Should be. See what they say. Since they're talking, it makes me think they're going to set up the marker at the yard line.
After review, the rolling on the field stands, incomplete pass.
Okay.
Second down.
Okay, so he loses his challenge. Not a bad challenge, though, when we looked at the replay. It was
close.
so quick. Yeah, absolutely. And so, again, that's one of those that could have went, flipping coin.
And that is Midwestern's challenge and a timeout.
Well, you don't want to go. It only leaves you with one timeout. But the thing is, you don't want to go home without using your timeouts. And so I don't think that was a bad call, to be honest.
Second down and 10 now for Cannon Gibson and the Buff offense. Trajan Henderson over the right side. Trajan.
Get him over 100.
Okay. So he's got yardage to midfield, and it's going to set up a 3rd down and 4. So what is his official count at now, Bryce? 20 carries
21 carries,
okay.
And that should be about 103 once they mark it up. It hasn't been marked yet. So they give him 6 on that one. Nice carry, though. Nice job of getting that up. And that is the case, 103 yards.
He'll get another carry, trying to bounce it outside, makes a good cut, and then Donnell is able to wrap him up and throw him down right in front of the WT sideline, stacked up about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short of that first down marker. Is WT, yeah, they're going to immediately bring the punt team on the field. And with James Ingham, if he can get a good punt here, you could pin Midwestern State deep in their own territory.
Right. And when you have somebody of his caliber that really has good placement, too, he can do all those.
You think James wants to run a fake punt tonight?
He would love to.
Against the Mustangs?
He would love to.
He's going to kick it and angle it over to the far side. Goes out of bounds inside the 20, around the 17-yard line for Ingham. And now Midwestern State, good job defensively. They hold, but now their offense, at this point, Bryce, the field goals, you're going to have to put those to bed, and you're going to have to go score touchdowns.
Well, you definitely need a touchdown right now. You got 10:42 left to play in the ball game. The Buffs have had 359 total yards, 173 for the Mustangs, and so the defense, obviously, they do not want you to score a touchdown, and so it's a matter of pride for them a little bit. They know that they're going to be passing the ball because they haven't been able to get the rushing game going. They've only got 56 yards on the ground.
It's a 31-yard punt. Jalen March takes the ball on the reverse and gains decent yardage before David Jeffrey, J.T. Cavender make the stop.
And in their run game, that's the only place it's working tonight is the end-around receivers using their speed. They can't just go dive up the middle and, try to find an A-B gap to get through.
Nice run, 6-yard gain for March. And again, they've done this a lot. They put him out as a receiver. They brought him in motion, tried a couple of different things. They're going to do it again. March, good hole, opens up. It's closed quickly, though. It looked like he was going to be able to pick up an easy first down.
They do give him the first down.
Okay. Schlager makes the tackle along with Dylan Parcher for the Buffaloes.
And the Buffs are content with this because it does run the clock.
Yeah.
And so, again, that's kind of been their only offense the last little bit is these end arounds. But you don't want to get complacent, don't want to fall asleep and let him get one of their quick receivers to the outside, go up the sideline.
Empty backfield again. Tight end goes in motion, Jalen Robertson. Here comes Jalen March. March, good run at the 30, at the 35, down near the 40-yard line. Beard makes the tackle. Another big first down run for Jalen March.
So J.T. Cavender read it, and so he shot across the line in the path. You watch on the replay here, watch him shoot across. That's why Marsh will go back the other direction and still has a nice game because linebacker stops right there. It's Cavender, so he has to go back. And if I had my own illustrator, I could have showed you that.
Yes.
But nevertheless, I mean, that's why he went back the other way and still picked up the first down.
We're putting that on our Christmas list, Bryce. Here's a handoff coming the other direction is number 28, Christian Alaji. And all of a sudden, for 3 quarters, the running game was just absent. And Midwestern State starting to find some stuff on the ground. But again, WT will just watch that clock tick, tick, tick. Now getting closer to 8 minutes left in this ball game.
They're not really changing their defense up a lot. They're allowing them to do that. And so just as long as they don't have any big breaks on what they're trying to do. Again, JT goes up to the line. Now reverse it back to the middle.
Alaji goes in motion. They hand it to him. He almost dropped it. Now he's looking for somewhere to go, and Antonio Iwuagwu comes across, disrupts the play, and it just gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Alaji shaking his head. He's like, that was messed up from the beginning.
Yeah.
And again, those plays where the running back is coming over and taking that handoff is just a little bit different than what they're used to. This is 3rd down and 5 with 7.5 minutes left in the ball game. Can Andrew Knievel and the Mustang offense pick up 5 yards here?
Now, the thing about it is you've kind of lulled WT in the secondary to sleep.
4 seconds on the play clock. 1 second, and they had to come in. Midwestern State had to take a timeout or they were going to get a delay of game.
That's their last time out. And so they've used their last time out in this one. They snapped it right at 0.
Timeout, Midwestern. That's their 3rd and final timeout, and a media timeout.
Part of the problem, Bryce, was that the receiver on the outside there, number 13, Justin White Jr., he didn't know what the play was.
Yeah.
And so he was signaling over, saying, I don't know what we're supposed to run here. Let's take a quick timeout. 17-6, West Texas A&M leads. Big third down play coming up for the Mustangs after this break.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family.
We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. The Buffaloes lead at 17-6. Midwestern takes their third and final timeout. Not everybody on the same page offensively what they want to do on this 3rd and 6. Got to get to the 48. 3rd and 5, actually.
And that was the last timeout for Midwestern State. Knievel will take his drop, looking right, now being pressured. He's going to have to try to run, and he doesn't escape. Number 44, J.T. Cavender, his 10th tackle of the game. And it's for a loss there, so it's going to be 4th down and then some for Midwestern State. Coach Renner is really upset over there on the sideline.
Well, there's a flag way back here.
I didn't see that
now,
one,
here's
Bryce.
the one thing. I'm curious if this is going to be a taunting call on J.T. Cavender because he made the stop.
Well, I don't know. I think Eddie McClendon is walking off the field as if he may have done something.
It was a taunting.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 23, 15-yard penalty, and it's going to be 1st down.
Yeah, McClendon was not in on the play. He was on the other side of the field, and not sure what.
And that's his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
What happened, we have been saying throughout this game, Bryce, that there's been a lot of jawing.
A lot of motion.
Back and forth, but that's a critical penalty there because it's 15 yards. It's a 1st down Midwestern State. You take away all that momentum that WT just had after J.T. Cavender's tackle for loss. And we just got a text in from Kent Johnson with wisdom from the sideline. He said, that wasn't smart.
Yeah, that's – again, Eddie is a senior, and so played at Adams State
Knows
before
better.
coming here to WT. I know you get emotional and you get into it, but again, you just had a great defensive stop. You were going to force them to punt or to go for it on 4th and long, and then just doing something that you shouldn't do gives them the 1st down.
If I'm the Mustangs here, Bryce, I take a shot right now. You know, if you take your best receiver in a one-on-one matchup and go for it. This is going to be Jalen March on a pitch play. Back to the receiver, Justin White, across the 40, 35. Good speed. It's a 1st down for Justin White Jr. They had run that same play about 4 times, and they had not done
the pitch.
Yes.
The second pitch, They did that time they did, and so got him a 1st down again, and it stops the clock momentarily, but still goes here.
Snap back to the quarterback, looking to throw. Nothing left. Going back right. Catch made. And then a rude hit there. Good job by the Buffaloes. DeMonte Green makes the catch. Good spot. He's going to get across the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Well, again, the emotion has swelled up for Midwestern. They're playing with a lot of emotion right now.
Much better second half.
Yeah, so much.
Andrew Knievel goes play action. And it's a great catch by DeMonte Green. A penalty marker is thrown. He's all fired up after making the catch for a 1st down. Rich Renner comes out to check on an injured player, and that's his quarterback. who is down on the turf. Rich Renner pleading with the referee, saying there should have been another penalty thrown. My eyes went to the receiver, so I did not see, Bryce, if there was a late hit.
I didn't either.
But the penalty that was thrown is in the secondary.
That's going to be for pass interference, which will decline because he caught the pass.
Let's see if we can get a replay maybe on that last play. But if the quarterback is not able to get back in for this next play, we did see for one play earlier in the game, number 18, James Cooper Jr. They are without number 6, Matthew Duncan.
And on their 2 deep, they list Brendan Strickland as their backup quarterback. And so
the officials are all huddled at the 15-yard line.
So, I mean, I'm sensing that they're saying that because he caught the pass, there's no penalty.
Well, that's good to see Andrew Knievel get up. He may have to come out just for one play, potentially. And we're still waiting for this explanation from our referee.
During the pass, holding defense, number 17, 10-yard penalty, and it's an automatic first down.
Okay. And this will be Brendan Strickland that's going to come in here, Bryce, number 7, at quarterback, at least for the moment. Brendan Strickland, 6'3", 215-pound senior out of Princeton, Texas, a transfer from Louisiana Tech. And what a spot to come into this game with the Mustangs trailing by 13 points, 6:08 left in the game.
Officials are still huddling up on this one. And I'm just curious. I thought he caught it. So they're now moving the chains. And so, again, I thought the pass was caught and it would have been further up the field. So, nevertheless.
Strickland going to the end zone and incomplete.
Yeah, they're wanting a flag on that for face guarding, but really that was just Cam just playing with the receiver, and in coverage, he just stayed with him step for step.
And honestly, if the ball is thrown a little further, it's touchdown.
Right.
DeMonte Green, he's been a problem. He's having a great game tonight for Midwestern State. On the evening, Green has 7 catches for 81 yards. Been the go-to target, the sophomore from Allen.
And they have man-on-man coverage. There was movement before.
Strickland tries it again, and Manahan in coverage. Green fell down.
Well, he tried to draw the flag. That was more of an acting job than anything else. And so, again, the official right on top of it says,
it's a good matchup, 17 versus 12 over there.
That's right.
There's Cam Manahan.
That's right. So
he has that, there's a big game today in Lubbock between Texas Tech and Colorado, and the prime, Deion Sanders. That's kind of the way that Cam Manahan plays as far as that swag, right?
Yeah, definitely so. And again, full of confidence, full of vim and vigor, and combination of both.
Okay, Andrew Knievel back on the field here for Midwestern State. 5:58 to play in the game. They trail 17-6. Knievel, they go to the end zone again. And again, it's the same result. 3 straight times where Cam Manahan is in coverage one-on-one with DeMonte Green. Green pleading his case, and Midwestern State is saying,
the thing is,
why is there not a penalty?
He's not touching him. He's staying with him step for step, puts his hands in the air, and makes it difficult for him to see the ball coming in. But he's not pushing.
It's like 2 siblings, and one's like, I'm not doing anything.
Exactly,
I'm not doing anything.
Exactly. And so, again, that comes to play that, Cam knew exactly where they were going all the time. He just played good defense.
Well, slowly but surely, Midwestern State, another field goal try from Joseph Carlson, but he missed it.
No good.
A rare miss from the senior kicker from Frisco, and so now the Buffs keep their 13-point lead. Midwestern State, no points after what looked like, Bryce, they had a chance.
It was a very good drive that they tried. And so, actually, they already marked it up as a field goal on the score sheet, but the officials say no.
Yeah.
And so that was a 12-play drive that covered 70 yards, but they come up empty.
With no timeouts remaining for Midwestern State, this is where the Buff offense needs to say, fellas,
We're going to run.
Yeah, let's put this.
We're going to run.
Put it away.
Exactly.
Well, they try to go up the middle there, and nothing going for Trajan Henderson. Nice defense by the Mustangs. That defensive line being stingy. That was number 90 in on the stop, Titus Howard Jr.
Be a good time for an end around 2 as well for WT, just to kind of loosen things up a little bit.
All these signals going on here, Bryce.
I know. Can't figure half of them out half the time.
A gain of 1 for the Buffs running back, who is over 100 yards tonight. This will be a pass play. Gibson, and it is caught by Zorian Stanton. Good coverage. Stanton makes the catch to the 26-yard line. On the coverage was Jermaine Witherspoon for Midwestern State, and now it is 3rd down and 4.
More importantly, it keeps the clock running, and so that's the thing. The Buffs are going to take as much time as they can.
Huge difference in this ball game tonight, Bryce. Midwestern State 1 for 12 on 3rd downs. The Buffaloes 6 of 14.
Yeah, that is a big difference. And they need to make it 7 right here.
They fake it to the running back. Diving forward, Cannon Gibson has enough to move the sticks. 1st down up to the 33-yard line.
He comes up limping, or maybe he just came out of his shoe. I guess that was it. He came out of his shoe. No, he is limping.
Oh.
Looks like he's got a cramp, actually. The nice thing is you have Sean Johnson you can bring in. And
that's what happens. Sean Johnson Jr. comes on the field. Fats started this season for the Buffaloes. 783 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, also 459 rushing yards.
WT's going to take a timeout because they just want to make sure everybody's on the same page here instead of sending a cold quarterback in there to go, take a timeout and make sure everybody's in agreement.
All right, we'll take a timeout as well. 3:43 left in the ballgame. Buffs lead 17-6 over Midwestern State. Back after this.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt. The all-time favorite. With 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2. And 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt. Just like you like it.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Timeout taken by the Buffaloes as they lead this one with 3:43 left to play, 17-6, and Sean Johnson on for the Buffs.
Buffs get a couple more 1st downs. This game will be over. Trajan Henderson carries for about 3 yards there over the left side.
Cannon's trying to tell Josh Lynn he's good to go, but you can see he's still limping a little bit. And again, those cramps, they just kind of, they hurt.
If WT holds on here, Bryce, it's going to be a 5-5 record. It'll be 5-3 in Lone Star Conference play. And again, they'll go next week at Angelo State, leader in the Lone Star Conference. They will be an underdog in that game, but they don't mind playing that role, and they've been good on the road this season in Lone Star Conference play. Henderson takes the carry and gains maybe a yard.
More importantly, it keeps the clock running is what they want to do. And so that's kind of the big impetus right now for the Buffaloes. And again, you know, like you said, you like to win over Midwestern here.
3rd down and 7. The last time the Buffs picked up the 3rd down play, Cannon Gibson faked it on that RPO and
Right.
kept it, you could do the same thing with Sean Johnson with his speed.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's been a while since he's been in, but you definitely could.
I don't think he's gotten any slower.
No.
So they need to hurry, though. 2 seconds, 1 second. They just took a delay of game. The Buffs just took a delay of game on.
I think they got
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Third down, so now it's third down and 12 instead.
I thought they got the timeout. Because Josh Lynn was by the line judge. I thought he was taking it, but not the case. So they'll move it back 5. Now make it 3rd and 12. And Cannon Gibson comes back in.
Do you still run it, Bryce? Or, I mean,
I think
the clock's going to stop at the 2-minute timeout.
Right. So, again, you can go with a pass here and try to pick up the first down. Because if you pick up one more first down, then you've sealed the victory for sure. And, again, still a 13-point lead. So, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Right. Gibson will throw, and it's batted down.
Away.
Incomplete. Yeah, it's not a fumble. It's an incomplete pass. So it will be 4th down. The Buffs will have to punt. It does help Midwestern State out because they will get potentially one offensive play before a 2-minute timeout because, again, they are out of timeouts. The Mustangs are.
Well, he had Tucker Swoboda in the pattern. That's where he was going to go for the first down catch, but because Tucker only has one catch tonight so far, and so he was looking to cash in on that one.
Here's the punt from James Ingham. Keeps it low, and it's taken by DeMonte Green at the 30. DeMonte Green on the far sideline.
Right there. I mean,
he's going to step out of bounds as he crosses midfield with 1 minute and 57 seconds left, so it should be the 2-minute timeout. We're going to come back. Midwestern State has work to do. They trail by 13 points, 1:57 to play.
2-minute timeout.
No timeouts remaining. We're back after these messages here on Flow Sports and West Texas A&M Sports Network.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. The other game that's going on in the Lone Star Conference is Sul Ross at Central Washington. And just starting second quarter, Central Washington leads 35-0 with that one. So this one, 17-6. Buffaloes with the lead. And they have punted this one away. And it will be Midwestern State coming out in Buff territory at the 49-yard line.
After Midwestern State, what are your best big strike plays? That's what you need now.
And that's what you have to have. You've got to have a big strike. Again, those speedy receivers, that's what you want to try to go to, is those two guys, and in particular. And you got to strike quickly and then get the ball back.
Well, it started out slow, really, for both of these teams offensively. The Buffs pick it up there in the second quarter, and they had that lead at halftime, 10-0. Defense just was not allowing anything for Midwestern State, and it's gotten closer, but for the Mustangs, it's been a case of just too many field goal opportunities and not enough touchdowns. No touchdowns tonight. Kneibel throws to the outside. We've seen this one before. DeMonte Green makes the catch. And just 4 seconds run off the clock.
that's the thing you're scared about is you don't want them to do a stop and go. And so, in other words, you don't want them to fake like they're stopping on the sideline and then take up off the near sideline with their speed.
Second down and short. Kneibel going for the home run. DeMonte Green catches it at the 15-yard line, knocked out of bounds at around the 11. So that's not good. Midwestern State now close to getting into the end zone with 1:48 still to play. It's a lot of time, even though they don't have their timeouts.
Right.
Of course, they have to score a touchdown and then get an onside recovery. Kneibel in trouble and has to throw this one
Barely
to the
got
turf.
back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That's what the official is looking at over there. So he's saying that it did get back to the line, and so barely got back there.
So now second down and 10 coming up. Ball at the West Texas A&M 13-yard line. Above spring pressure. Throw to the end zone, up for grabs, and it was caught. What a catch. Touchdown Mustangs, because that was anyone's ball. Justin White Jr. comes up with the grab. It's just a case of the ball being in the air and the receiver wanted it a little bit more.
Yeah, there's two defenders down there for the Buffaloes, and neither one of them kind of really jumped after it. And so, again, like you said, the receiver just wanted it worse and went up and got it and pulled it in. They're going to go for 2 on this one.
So this is to make it 17-14. Running back on the field is Alaji. He gets the carry. Pitch play, loose on the turf. J.T. Cavender picks it up. He disrupted the play, comes up with the ball, and so the 2-point conversion fails, and the score stays 17-12, West Texas A&M. So you're going to have an onside kick coming up for Midwestern State. They're going to have to get this ball. Otherwise, West Texas A&M is going to see win number 5 on the season. Will even up their record
at 5-5.
Yes. And for Midwestern State, it would be a 4th straight loss. They would go to 3-7. Hands team, Bryce. That's why you practice this.
That's exactly right. That is why you have them out there. And so you get every guy that has good gloves on tonight and get set to bring that one in. So
you know, in the NFL now you have to declare it, the onside.
That's true.
No declaration needed here.
No, everybody's pretty certain.
J.T. Cavender, who just made that big play there. Tonight, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. So now he's up to 341 career tackles. He'll have a chance next week to move up to number 3 in his final game as a Buffalo.
You know, what's cool is that he talked about that the guys that are ahead of him, he's talked to them, and they've carried on a conversation as they encourage him to, you know, usurp them on the record book. And so, again, that's interesting. So anybody that's good at catching a wobbling ball is out there right now.
Joseph Carlson, the onside, and it's caught by the Buffaloes, hauling that in. How about Drew Jones? A penalty marker comes flying in after the play. Drew Jones recovers it, and the Buffaloes are going to get the football. Bryce, I'm going to hand this one over to you, and I'll head down to the field for the post-game interviews.
All right, so the Buffalo offense will get set to come out in this one, as all they have to do is run out the last 137 of this. The officials will talk about the penalty, which is going to be
Kick catch interference, number 32 kicking team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they'll mark off the 15-yard penalty. And in essence, it's like a personal foul almost, but not quite. And so it's enough they'll move this into Midwestern territory. And it'll mark it down at the 30-yard line, 29-yard line. So that's where the Buff offense will take over. 1st and 10 at the 29, 1:37 left to play. Buffalo's leading this one 17-12. The Buffs are showing the V formation because there are no timeouts left for Midwestern. And they'll mark it back at the 31-yard line, so just mismarked on the play. So the Buffs getting set in the V formation, get ready to go. 375 yards for the Buffaloes tonight. 235 of that on the ground, 140 through the air. Gibson takes it, takes a knee. So that starts the clock. So they'll mark him back at the 35-yard line. Buffs will move back as the clock continues to run. Play clock's down to 19. So they may have to do this 2 more times. Gibson looking at the play clock. Takes a knee. They'll mark it back to the 40. Buffs will move back. We'll have to snap it 1 more time before they can claim their victory here tonight and improve to 5-5 on the season, 5-3 in the LSC. And Gibson gets set to take it, and that'll do it as the Buffs will win this one tonight by a final of 17-12 over Midwestern. And so the Buffs improved to 5-5 on the season, 5-3 in the LSC, while Midwestern falls to 3-7 and 2-6 in the Lone Star Conference. And again, tonight the Buffs 362 total yards. Those 2 snaps, they lost them 10 yards. Kind of moves them back 269 total for Midwestern.
That's the end of the fourth quarter.
And so the Buffs tonight 222 rushing yards, 140 through the air, and had 19 first downs to 17 in this one. And I guess the big win, too, was the time of possession. The Buffs had it for 36 minutes compared to 23 for Midwestern State. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so. We'll get ready for our post-game interviews. But first, this break. After this, we'll be back on Flow Sports.
Headquarters and get helped, get fitted, and get your questions answered, and find out about our price matching online today.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as the Buffaloes come away with a 17-12 win over Midwestern State, as the Buffs win this one in the trenches tonight as well, and so able to get some things going in the run game with over 222 rushing yards in this one tonight as the Buffs want to hear the school song on their senior night before we head down for the post-game interviews, there's the big hits of the game. Right there is one of those, J.T. Cavender coming in to make a stop there. And then on a kickoff, Buff's able to come up. And on this return, there's the stop that is made right there. Some of the big hits in this one tonight. And so, again, the Buffs win this one 17-12 to improve to 5-5 on the season, 5-3 in LSC play. And again, as mentioned, Midwestern falls to 3-7 overall and 2-6 in Lone Star Conference play. It sets up for next year. Let's head down to the field. Josh Lynn is standing by with Luke Kinsey. Luke, go ahead and take it away.
On the field with head coach Josh Lynn after the Buffaloes get the win over Midwestern State. 17-12 is the final. And, Coach, this one, again, defense played lights out throughout this game. Offense did what it needed. It woke up and did what it needed to do. Talk about this big win. Now you've moved to 5-5 on the season.
Yeah, it's good, right? Last home game, good, get the win. Another thing, too, it puts us, I mean, you told me game 5. You know, this year we'd be right where we're at. I might have had to argue with you. But kids are resilient. We're getting better every day. I mean, this is a good win. It's a good win, you know, to win it there late, and extremely happy with my kids.
Talk about your run game. I felt like you really started to establish that tonight. We're going to talk to Trajon Henderson and Maddie Ames, big part of that success tonight. But I think that really helped you guys out. You kept their offense on the field, on the sideline a lot tonight.
Right, and you know, part of that, too, is our defense giving us a lot of chances. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, we knew that we needed to go in and run it. Just what they were doing defensively. And we did it well at times. We needed it a little better in the second half, but all in all, I'm proud with the way that went too.
You honored a lot of seniors tonight before this game, and we saw a lot of those guys making plays. Big group of seniors, and they go out at home in style.
Right. You know, we finished the game with J.T. Cavender on the field, so a special moment. His last moment at his last play, defensive play, is him recovering a fumble at Bain Schaefer. Not a better moment, right? So
it was awesome. Congratulations on this win. We'll finish it out next week on the road to Angelo State. Try to go to 6-5.
6-5 would be great. So thank you.
Thanks, Coach. All right, we'll get our players in here next. We'll have some of the offensive players slide in first. Trajon Henderson and Maddie Ames. We'll get these guys on each side. A big win on senior night for you guys. 17-12 is the final in this one. Trajon, we'll start with you. I just talked to your coach about the run game being a huge part of this win tonight. Talk about what you were able to find. You go over 100 yards again. Your team gets a big win on senior night.
I mean, all week we were just like harping on physical. We already knew this was a tough team coming in. Like I said, we're kind of evenly matched up, kind of same throughout the whole year. So we kind of knew we were going to have to just put the ball on the ground, and I trusted my guys to move them all day, and they did, man. I love these guys so much, and I'm proud of the way we just finished in the season. It was a tough first half of the season, but the second half of the season, we just came together, and we just said, hey, man, we all we got. On Mondays, on Tuesdays, the same people in there. So, man, I love these guys, and I'm thankful for these guys, man, thankful.
You've had some big wins, Maddie Ames here for West Texas A&M, but tonight, how special was it on senior night to not only win, but win in a way where you were a big part of it with that run game and the blocking?
It was huge. Man, I'm just glad that my last memory here is a win. You know, winning here, you know, winning in general is nice, but, you know, getting that send-off here and, you know, like you said, being a big part of it with the run game. You know, that man right there, he played a big part in it too. Shit. We make good blocks. You know, it means nothing if you don't hit the right hole. You know, like we can do our, you know, and it's a whole group effort. It's all 11 out there. If one guy messes up, you know, it's 10 on 11, and you know that guy's slipping free. You know, tackle him for a loss. So you know, it doesn't take us. You know, but you know, again, like you said, we had a good game as an offensive line, but it takes everybody. And I'm glad. You know, he had a good game too. Makes us look good.
Trajon, talk about, I mean, you came in, this is your first year playing for West Texas A&M, but you told me when I talked to you earlier in the season that the culture here was special. How special has this year been for you? You still got one more game next week, but talk about this team and what it means to you.
It's really special. Like I said, especially when, you know, this year you got a lot of transfers coming in, had some new guys coming in. It's very tough. So the way we were able to bond and just gel together as a squad, especially towards the end of the season, is great. You know, we started from June, you know, we made it a point for a brotherhood. So I'm just glad that we can build the culture and leave our mark on this culture for West Texas in the future. Yep.
You got one more game next week. Going to go at Angelo State. What do you got? How do you want to finish it out? Obviously, they're going to be a favorite. They're leading the Lone Star Conference right now, but the Buffaloes have been good on the road this year.
Yeah, just heard about they won. They beat Western Oregon, I believe. So, you know, they're still undefeated in conference. It's going to be a good game. You know, we're going to have to rely on us big boys again. I know Coach Lynn needs to be a point of emphasis. Trajon's going to be a point of emphasis. Everyone's going to be a point of emphasis. You know, we got to go in there and have a perfect game because these guys are like the Western Colorados and the School of Mines that we played earlier in the year. And, the Lone Star, no Lone Star team is a joke. Everyone's good in this conference, and, they're no exception. So we're going to have to go out there and execute and have a perfect game.
Maddie and Trey John, congratulations on the big win on senior night. Go celebrate.
Go Buffs, go Buffs.
All right, we're going to get JT Cavender to slide on in, number 44. Congratulations on the win. He's got the football, getting all kinds of souvenirs and fun things here on senior night. Coach Lynn, I talked to him about the seniors and how special you guys were to him, and he said it was really cool that your last play here on the field in front of these fans was a fumble recovery. You stopped a 2-point conversion, and it was pretty special.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I didn't even think of it like that. I just knew that we won. Well, we didn't win the game at that point. I knew we gave ourselves to win the game, and it was a greater chance. And so just going out there and playing with my brothers and know that that's my last play, and we got them off the field and gave us a chance to win. So it was fun.
Midwestern State at halftime, JT, I think they had like 70 yards of offense. They were having a really hard time moving the football. The defense seemed to just have their number for most of this game. What was going on out there? You guys were flying around, making a lot of plays.
Yes, sir. Well, I think it's just a great week of preparation, and that's what we've done these past couple of weeks. It's always been preparation. It's always been about that. And just coming in this week and knowing that we could pitch a shutout like we did last year, and that's what we wanted to do. Obviously it didn't happen, but we got close to it, and that's what we were preparing for all week long. Yeah.
Things tightened up there in the fourth quarter when the Mustangs did get to, they got a couple of field goals and they got that touchdown. But what was the message you guys, every time you came back on the field, what was the defense wanting to do?
We just wanted to keep putting the ball in our offense's hands because we knew at some point they were going to explode. We have explosive receivers. We have explosive quarterback. The run game was getting going. We just knew that we had to get the ball back. And so if we go out there and force a 3 and out, it's going to end up being better field position for us and our offense to go down there and execute.
JT right now sits in 4th place on the all-time tackles list, has a chance next week in your last game as a Buffalo to move up to 3rd, maybe even to 2nd. You had put up a lot of good numbers and have had an outstanding career, but I know you're a team guy. I know you want to thank the players and the coaches and everybody that has been around you. How much does this program mean as you go out on senior night at home with a big win?
Yeah, man, that's a loaded question. Yeah. It means so much, and there's so many people I can thank, my teammates, my coaches, so many people in the athletic department. It just means the most, and it means a lot that I can come back and know that we didn't win a lot of games, but we put in a lot of work and effort, and we're starting to turn it around. And this is the year I believe that there's going to be a turnaround. And so it's priceless. You can't put a price on it. Yes, sir.
We're going to miss watching you play. This guy right here, number 44, goes out a winner on senior night. JT Cavender. Buffs win 17-12. Back upstairs to you, Bryce.
All right, thanks very much, Luke. Again, nice win for the Buffaloes, 17-12. They improved to 5-5 on the season, 5-3 in the Lone Star Conference. Right now, conference standings look this way. There you see the final stats in this one: 17 first downs for MSU, 19 for the Buffs, 222 yards on the ground, 140 through the air. Penalties, not a lot here tonight. The Buffs had 8 for 69. And more importantly, just like they were talking with JT Cavender, 2 sacks on the evening for WT as well. Lone Star Conference looks this way. Angelo State is 8-0. Western Oregon is 6-2 as Angelo beat Western today. Central Washington is leading right now and probably will win over Saul Ross. They will move to 6-2. So they'll be tied for second with Western Oregon. Then it's Kingsville, UT Permian Basin, and the Buffs that are all 5-3 in that 5th place spot, or 4th place spot, I should say, for the Buffs. And again, considering WT was selected to finish 6th in the LSC, so much improved for the Buffaloes here as they come away with a 17-12 win. Of course, they will play next week. They'll travel down to San Angelo to take on Angelo State to wrap up the regular season. Big thanks to our Thunder Vision crew for bringing the pictures here tonight, as they have all season long. Just a great job providing you with the top-notch service that we have here at West Texas in order to give you the pictures and the sights and the sounds of everything that takes place. Big thanks to all of them, Chris Jackas and everyone else, as far as bringing this to you in your homes or wherever you may be. For Lucas Kinsey, I'm Bryce Sheets. Thank you for watching today. Until the next time, we'll have everything coming your way on Flow Sports.